You're slaying it, yeah?
Yeah, just make sure you don't.
Okay.
Then we can't hear you.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be like far away.
Yeah.
So you want to be close.
Talk. Not at the top.
Okay. Yeah. Where it says audio.
Just where the light is.
Yeah,
basically.
just
When you
follow
see
the light. Just
Follow
make
the
sure,
light.
Just follow the light.
Yeah?
And
Exactly.
we all.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
That's
right?
it. So
So,
that's it. But yeah, how's the day been anyway? What's something new?
Yeah, so new. So someone interesting.
what?
Yeah, what was that? Something new.
Oh, man.
What did I don't know. Something new today.
Yeah.
Well, something new is that I'm going to have new packages for my PR things this week,
no.
so we're organising that. Yeah,
Nice.
that's good. Yeah.
Nice. What kind of packages?
So just like street talk packages, so videos for people, for us to like go on the street and just interview
damn.
people randomly.
That's pretty
Yeah.
dope. Pretty dope.
Yeah.
Pretty dope.
Yeah,
Nice.
I just did some, and they were like crazy. Like the what's that show, Squid Games? It was like people just walking past in the outfits, and I just started like chasing them with like a barbell on top of my back, just like random
Damn, this
situations.
got dark.
Yeah, I was about to
Just
say.
like,
They got dark as
like
hell.
some weird like situations.
You don't have a basebul bat or anything like that?
Wow, wouldn't you like to know?
Hey.
Well, we didn't do the search.
Yeah,
so.
we didn't check. So damn, we should have done that.
I'll look
first.
behind you.
Yeah, watch out.
I have to. We have to.
Nah.
LU.
Hey, we gotta
This
start.
one.
We gotta start checking. You know, have those detectors that they have at the airport. From
Yeah.
now on. So,
How do we get one?
Hey,
There's gotta be a
there's
system.
gotta be a way.
Can
yeah.
you get them? Like,
Ali
black
Express.
market,
does,
hey,
you're
we
like, does a guard come with it? Like, even check bag,
Hey,
check
we
person.
can look in the black
A metal
market.
detector? Is that
Yeah,
what it
metal,
is?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. We can get that off Temu or
Team-
Shein.
bro. I
He's
don't
like, I've ordered that before. I've got that before.
I mean,
Hey, how
I
do
don't
you
know
know
how
that?
good they're going to be.
I don't know what you do on your Friday
Yeah,
night, but I go through my metal detector.
Oh, damn. But yeah, we'll get some.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And then you can test it out, Jazz, and tell us if they're detecting your whatever.
Metal.
The guns, you know, because you got to put them away. Look, exactly.
Well, yeah.
You know, women lifting women. That's what we're gonna be
Metaphorically
talking
and
about.
physically.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
it, yeah.
And we've got a big episode today, guys.
Oh, we're going crazy.
Oh, we are. We're going
crazy.
ham. We're gonna
Yeah,
slay.
yeah, hey, that's it.
queen.
Let's slay.
Yes, that's it. You should do the intro.
Yeah,
with this.
do
Yeah. But also, this is the first time that we're having a female
No.
on here.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's
very
good.
honoured
I
to be
know.
the
Thank
first
you, thank you.
female. Yes, very
Thank you for
good.
coming.
Appreciate you for coming on
Yeah.
Thank you.
and
for
showing
having
us that not only guys can,
Be on this
Kill
boat.
it.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah,
yeah,
That's
thank
it.
you.
queens can too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we are.
Slay.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Once again, slay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's gonna be like a recurring
It's gonna
thing.
be
I
a,
can
yeah,
see.
that's gonna be the new slogan.
Slay.
Slay.
Hey, that's it. And you
That's
know,
I feel like it's so addictive to start saying it.
Yeah,
Though.
that's
And then
what-
some people are like, can you stop saying slay? I'm like, I can't. It's a thing now. Like,
Why
it's
can't
taken
you-
over my body.
Yeah.
why can't you stop saying slay? Like, what is it?
I
Is
don't
it
know.
just-
It's like sometimes, even when you just hear like a TikTok set, like there's this new one where it's like big bong, bing, bong, bang. You know that new Kendrick Lamar song?
Yes.
And I'm like, I can't stop saying it now. My best friend just told me about it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like once you hear something, sometimes it just stays with
Is
you.
it like a rush of blood through your thing that just says slay, like right through your body, and it's just like slay, and it's like you
Yeah,
just.
it's like it just takes. It's like COVID. It's just
Takes-
like a
takes-
disease. Once it's got you, you've got it. You can't.
Yeah,
Hey, can you
it's
imagine
contagious.
her? Can you imagine her on the phone to a bank or
Yeah.
trying to book flights, and then she's like, "Yeah,
Slay.
slay."
Yeah, I probably would though.
What do you mean you would? You
Like
have.
Yeah.
it's like funny. You can be like full professional, and then just I'm very like bubbly. So like I think that's what's good though. Like when I work with like especially like with a lot of male orientated businesses and stuff like that, like restaurants, anything like that. It's like I'll come in and be like like that, and normally like I work with a lot of other women that have purposely try and be very reserved and try and be very like they wear like they're very like straight and try and be more masculine.
Yeah.
Whereas I'll be masculine if I need to, but like most of the time I think that's what I add value. I can be like that, and it's good that you can be feminine but still be like stern.
You're feminine. You're strong.
Yeah.
But if you need to whoop someone's ass,
you-
you gotta whoop someone's
Yeah.
ass.
You gotta show 'em.
With those,
Fuck
you
around
gotta
and
show
find out.
okay,
Like, fuck around and
You
find
gotta
out.
show
No.
out.
Of course.
Yeah, no, I think that's the thing as well, because I think a lot of people are so used to me being so like happy and bubbly. So if I'm in a bad mood, people know straight away, because I'll always be so happy and if as soon as I'm like, everyone's like, what's wrong? Or if I do get angry, it's like, or if something's not being done properly, if people take advantage and things like that, especially when it comes to my business or my job or things like that, I'll flip. Like I'll just be like, but stern and like very articulate with my words. Like I was the captain of debating at school. Like I'll mess someone up.
MVP?
Just gotta let you
Yeah,
know.
just I won't raise my voice, but yeah, like I can wreck someone with my. I think that's really important too. Like not yelling. I don't like yelling. I hate yelling. I hate people yelling.
So we'll keep it down on this
Yeah,
one.
just
Yeah,
keep
just
that
whisper.
volume down.
Just whisper on
What's your
this
tone?
Hey, she's one of those girls, like, you know,
one. Yeah. Oh yeah. Silence.
What's that?
Just silence.
like volume down,
Yeah.
like, you know.
Like you ain't gotta say much, but when you do, you say a lot by just.
Yeah.
Or that. Oh, no, it's the
Oh, yeah.
knob. Yeah, I got to remember. It's that.
I don't know what the hell you're
Just
talking about.
turn
Like,
it
what's
down.
going on? What am I missing here?
Yeah.
Da-da-da. It's like a sign language I'm missing out on or something.
Yeah, it's just bro code.
Yeah.
She ain't going to know that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not. We're just messing.
All right.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys,
Already excluding me. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
she doesn't want me to do the intro.
Yeah,
I
I
want me
know.
to do the intro.
Sorry.
But
Yeah.
welcome to the Just Hustle podcast, guys. As I said, this is our first female guest here. It's going to be a powerful one, so I want you to stay tuned on it, yeah? We're going to dive deep into the incredible strength and resilience of women
Very deep,
in the
very
workplace, in life, and who they balance their personal relationships, family, and just anything just for the pursuit of success, yeah? And all the hardships that they've faced, all right? We're going to also explore how to empower yourself through these relationships and succeed in every aspect of your life. I'm A Kook, I'm your host, and I'm with my boy Ali Oops.
Yep, that's me. Back at it again as always. But yeah.
And we're with the Slay Queen,
Slay.
Jazmin Burke.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
Amazing.
That's it. That's it.
Oh.
As
The-
always, guys.
Always good. Always
Yeah.
good.
The energy's high
Yeah.
here.
I always say it's a good day to have a good day.
That's it.
Every day.
That's the
Absolutely.
way.
Yep.
That's it. But as always, guys, just remember to go follow, share, like, and just get us out there. Make sure if you're watching to drop the GOAT so we know that you're watching. But yeah, let's get the show started. Let's get it.
That's it, guys. And you know what to do. You're going to hear some inspiring stories today, some advice, and just a reminder of how powerful women can be when they align their hearts, minds, and their goals. They can succeed anything. True?
Is that true?
Very true. Always. Yeah.
That's it.
Fuck
That's it.
yeah.
Let's get it.
All right. So, Jazz, as always, we're going to start off with, what's your story? Where did you come from? What were the hardships that you faced to get to where you are, to smash your goals, and achieve success?
Yeah, I think with my story, I've had like so many different lives in my one life. Like it's so crazy. Like I've done so many things, and people are always like, "What the?" Like it's crazy.
Well,
So
we've only got one episode.
Yeah, no, I can like say I'm one of those people. It's like I can actually say it in brief form. I think kind of. So I grew up like we were quite well off when I was younger, and then something happened, and we kind of like lost everything. And when that happened, I was kind of like, I would say I was a spoiled brat before that. Like when I was like my 13th birthday, I think, or maybe younger, like my dad's like, what do you want for like to eat for your birthday? I'm like lobster thermidor. Like I just thought that was normal. Like,
Damn.
yeah, but you know what? I think you're a product of like your environment. So I didn't know any different. So if you don't know any different, how are you supposed to know that that's not normal?
That's what
Do
you were
know
taught.
what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? So you grow up like every weekend we would go out for dinner. Like my dad really brought us up with like the man pays. Like he would always look after us. He was very like dominant, and he still is. Like to this day, like if we go out with my dad, he'll pay. I'm one of 3 daughters, so he just wanted a son to play footy, and he got 3 girly girls.
Damn.
Yeah.
But that's the best.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the same
do you
with me. I got 3 sisters, not a brother. So
But do you know what they say? They say, this is like off topic, but they say like any guy that's a player, they get daughters because it's like the karma.
Damn.
Like yeah.
So your dad was a player back in his day.
Yeah,
huh?
that's
right.
Hey, hustler.
and then the girls that slay get
Yeah.
sons.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so when that happened, I think I really learned at a young age the value of like money isn't everything, and like you have to be. My dad would always raise us saying like, you treat the CEO the same you treat the janitor. You treat everybody equally. You don't treat anybody. And I really hate people that treat people differently based on their social circumstances or how much money they have. You really see a lot of people do that every day, like as well. Like I don't like it.
Yeah.
I think nobody's below you, and anytime I see anybody treating anybody differently that they think is below them, I don't value them as a person, just because I think that that's not good way to treat people.
Well, that's exactly right. Everyone has a story, you know, and
Yeah.
these Hollywood stars that have been on Hollywood TV and stuff like that,
Yeah.
they're still waitresses and waiters
Yeah.
in there trying to make it. And imagine you go into that restaurant treating them like shit, you know, you don't know who that person was.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And everyone starts somewhere. So
Exactly.
sometimes, you know, like a lot of people do, like, you know, there are some people that start with, you know, a better, like, you know, upbringing or more things given to them on a silver platter. But I think to actually value things, you have to work for them. You can't just like, if you've just got given everything to you, you don't value it. Like I said, like, you know, for example, that lobster thermidor when I was 13. When I was 13, I didn't value that because I didn't work for it. I didn't know the value of it. I was used to getting what I wanted. But like if I went and bought that now, I would have my money and have earned that money, and that would mean more to me because it
course
would
it
be
does.
like, do you know what I mean? The
Yeah,
value.
the
So
value,
if you
yeah.
just get given everything, it doesn't, you don't value it because there's no value to it.
so what happened with your
So-
childhood? Did that humble you?
Yeah, so it really humbled me. So I think from a young age, I learned that everything can be taken from you. So like the floor can be ripped underneath you. That's kind of like how it felt. And then also like you have to, so, you know, then I got 3 jobs when I was 16. So when I was 16, I like worked, so I was really excited. I worked at JB Hi-Fi. I loved it. I was so excited. I thought it was so
Yay.
cool because everyone thought that was like the cool job back then with the DVDs and everything like that. And I was like,
DVDs.
oh my God, guys, I know the new movies that are out. And then I also worked at, where else did I work? So I worked at the car dealership. So I started working in car dealerships when I was 14. So my dad was like to me, you're going to start working as soon as you're 14.
Male dominant industry. by the way.
Male, all male. So
Yep.
for me, I was in it's not like it's got such a bad rep as well, the car industry, because there's like, you know, they have their sleazy car salesman rep, and my dad was like, you know what, you're gonna put heels on, you're gonna put a dress on, you're gonna wear makeup, and you're gonna like work there. Everyone thought I was way older than I was as well, because I'm just sitting there, and it really taught me to like you have to like hold your own, and you have to not let people talk to you a certain way. You also, I think presentation is very important. I always have. So when I was 14, like my dad would be like, the first thing people look at is your shoes and your teeth. So always make sure your shoes are clean. Always look after your like hygiene and like the way you look and be presentable. So I learned that from a very young age. And not many people when they're 14 are going to go wear heels and makeup and start working at a car dealership.
Yeah.
Like that's, and you know, I started seeing the way men acted. So like, you know, I think, no offense, but they can be quite sleazy, and they can be quite, you know, and as soon as they found out who my dad was, then they changed the way they spoke to me. So I would see the behavior of people and the way that they would speak to me differently.
But men do that. They judge you on appearance, and they, you know, they see you and just be like, oh, you know, she's this or she's that. You know, you're right.
And
They
and
judge it
I
straight.
can tell you straight away, like, I see the difference in the way people treat like a girl that they think is good looking compared to a girl that they don't. The same guy will act and approach a situation very differently, and that's why even in business now, I see like a lot of girls that want to be taken more seriously. They'll like dumb themselves down, like not mentally, like they'll try and make themselves look not as attractive, like not sexy, not, you know, you want to look like very, so people can take you seriously. And I think the good thing that's coming now is like women are becoming more bosses, and they're like, I don't care, I can be sexy and I can be a boss and I can get what I want, you know what I mean? So and when I was younger, what I did also notice was the women that were, you know, in sales, or the women that were doing well in those like industries, they were very masculine. Like they were very like almost like men, and they were very like harsh and very like, you know, like they would almost, and some of them would almost like not get along with the men because it'd just be very like hard, like hard exterior, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I noticed that as well, and I noticed they were kind of, some of them were very nasty as well, like towards me, like as well. I noticed that from a young age. So I think, you know, I'm getting like so off topic already, but I think the pretty privileged thing is such a thing. So like it can be such a curse and it can be such a blessing. And I talk about this with my friends. So, you know, I've got the most stunning friends, like beautiful, beautiful girls. And you really see when you're going into these influencer events and doing all that stuff, which I have done for years, I see that there's a difference between some girls that are like really kind to each other, and I have them, and you know, they're so unapproachable because they're so beautiful. Like people are scared to approach them because they're so stunning. And then you get the girls that are like really pretty and they're like so stuck up and so rude, and it's like going back to the thing, you're not better than anybody else.
Yeah.
So how dare you like act like you're like that? So I think, and with the pretty privilege thing, you can use it to your advantage. And like, you know, we do, like, I actually, like, I wouldn't be afraid to admit that. Like sometimes if I know a guy's going to give me more work because he finds me attractive, I'm going to play on that. I'm just going to keep my boundaries there. Yeah. Like, obviously I'm already friendly and nice. And, you know, sometimes that does get me in a bit of strife because I'm way too friendly. People think I'm flirting with them. And I'm like, I'm not flirting with you, brother. Like, but it's like, you know,
brother,
like, because then I'm like, because like sometimes my friends like, Jazz, you're like flirting. I'm like, I'm not flirting. I'm like, oh my god, hey, like, and they're like, you're flirt. Like that seems.
A lot
like
of people
flirting.
mistake niceness for flirting.
Yeah, and that's that's for me is like a big problem because I'm very like. Very like you know, even like when I'm talking to someone, I'll like touch like their arm and like oh hey blah blah blah, and you know, and then but if I'm flirting with a guy, probably I'm just standing there like like it's probably the opposite. I'm like, why doesn't he like me? I'm just like staring at him,
looking dumbfounded.
Yeah. Yeah, so no. But yeah, so then so I worked those jobs, and then so that was really good because that taught me a lot. The car industry taught me a lot. My dad said to me, it's going to teach you a lot. It's a really hard industry to work in. It's like you see the sales and the way people compete against each other because, you know, obviously like they want to fight over the customers that are coming in. They have KPIs. They want to get like the most sales results. So I was very like into sales and into, you know, seeing like competitive environments when I was really young.
And like working in the car industry, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever get like a guy's like, well, you don't know your shit, like, because you're a woman,
or
like, you know, you don't know what you're talking about. And how did that make you feel?
Yeah. So look, there's a thing. So like when later, like a few years after that, and when I was 20, I started working in aftermarket. So aftermarket's like, you know, the tinting and the accessories and everything like that. And that's got such a bad rep. Like there'd be people that, you know, I've never learned so much as when I did that job because you have to face rejection every single day. And if you can't handle rejection, like you're just not going to do well. So I was killing it when I was like 20. I got like rookie of the year. I was doing so well because I just didn't give a fuck. Like I was just like, I'm going to expect 10 people to like say no to me. I don't care. I would have like, you know, people like, I don't want to go in her office. I don't want to go in her office because they knew what my job is to sell them stuff. And I'm like, those people, I would get them to buy off me. And I'd be like, just because you're saying you don't want to come in my office, they're the people I would get. And it would make you be really like resilient and also have to think on your feet in different ways to approach it. And most of the time from all the sales things, because I would read books. There's like all these books like the Free Economics, the Undercover Economist, all these books that are about social economics. And I used to love these books because they would be about human behavior. So like if you ever like, you should read those books. They're like actually amazing. But they talk about, for example, why suicide bombers have life insurance, or like why
do they have?
Yeah, no.
why would they have insurance?
How much do they get paid?
Why do they get paid?
For example, there's like why for example, there's a train station and there's like a coffee shop, and there's a coffee shop just outside the train station, and the coffee shop inside the train station is $1 more, but the one outside isn't. But it's literally the same coffee. Everyone's going to buy the one that's $1 more because it's right next to the train.
That's right.
It's like human behavior. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. It's convenience.
So I would listen to all those, read those, and then I'd do like the training they would give us. And a lot of the time you would have to go and talk to the person first. You'd be like, I'm going to get to know this person, get to know their needs, get to know, okay, you have a family, you have kids. So the kids are how old are they? Oh, they're going to be messy. They're like toddlers. Okay, you need car protection for your interior of your cars because this is going to protect you from, and then you'd say ice cream or something that kids have. So you go in and like you learn the behaviors of people, and then that way you can adjust what you're going to say based on what they do. Wow. So yeah, but when I would do that stuff, it would be like, oh, we don't want to see the stupid aftermarket girl. Like the other men in the car, like with the car salesman would a lot of the time think they knew everything. And to be honest, like I didn't actually need to know that much about a car, but I should know like the different cars so that I could see what would be available for which car. And to this day, like I've worked in the car industry a long time. I've grown up with a dad as a car wholesaler, and I still don't actually know that much about cars, but what I do as well is, and I would do this even when I did my last job, is they say, I saw this thing and it was like, when you get to the highest level of intelligence, you know that you should act dumb. Like, for example, look at Paris Hilton. She's a billionaire. She acts dumb every single day. And people think she's stupid. But why is she a billionaire then? Do you know what I mean? So like, if you can play on that and people think you're dumb and you can like, it's like, you know, I'd always rather be the underdog. I'd always rather someone think that I'm stupid. I would love that. I love that because then no one's going to expect anything from you. Do you know what I mean? In anything as well. Like even when I,
and it's a bit of fun, isn't it? It's like how far can I go?
How
with
can I go
this?
with this?
Yeah, and even like, you know, I think I'll purposely act dumb sometimes. I'll admit that. And any of my smart hot girlfriends, like the ones that are really, they know to play on that too. Or like, you know, one of my friends, Margarita, she was on Love Island. She's stunning. Like she is a 20 out of 10. Anywhere we go, everyone just stops her. She looks like a doll. She doesn't look real. And she has this all like sexy like vibe. And she acts like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. But she is the most kind, loving, caring, loyal person. And when you're with her, like we're just so silly. And I'm like, you need to put that on your Instagram or that you're so silly and crazy and blah, blah, blah. But people want to see her just be sexy. They just want to see that certain look that she is, you know. And it's great when we have our personality and everything like that. But I think, you know, society's like what they want you to be is like different.
And does that make does it make you upset that society wants to see this, but you're this other person? You know what I'm trying to say? You want to show this off, but everyone wants to see you as a sex symbol or sexy and, you know, do this. But, you know, you want to be funny. You want to be
real.
Yeah,
so I think that's
exactly.
what makes my brand so different. Is that I am like
what is your brand?
So my brand. So I do PR and events, but I also do a lot of like social media. So I would say my brand is lifestyle. So I'm an ambassador for Fernwood, a female fitness brand. I think a lot of my stuff is like motivational content. I like to be like uplifting and positive, like all good vibes only. But also I think I'm like very real. Like people like to watch me because I'll just be goofy and I'll talk and I don't care what people think. Like I honestly I couldn't care less. I think a long time ago I stopped caring what people thought about me, and I can't be anything else. Like I remember at the beginning of it in like March this year, I was like, that's it. Like I'm giving up. I'm not going to be like this anymore. I'm going to be more serious. I'm going to be like more like this. I'm going to be more like that. You know, it's really hard for me because even like my sisters are very low key. They don't like social media. They don't like anything. They'd be like, can't you be more mysterious? Like, can't you be? And I tried and I got so depressed. That I was like I didn't go out because I go to so many events. I do events. I go to events. I do influencer management. Obviously, I do my own Instagram. I make content, UGC. So I have a lot of avenues. But my brain just works like that. And I thrive off being so busy and always being in environments with people and having so much energy happening all the time. And I love it. And I love being go, go, go. So when I tried to just stay home and not do anything and not like be myself and try and like settle my personality down, it was like, I just want to die. Like I was literally bored. Like, no, but it wasn't even
there was no
bored.
purpose.
Yeah, there's no purpose.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a purpose, what's the point? You know what I mean?
That's it.
So, but yeah, so going back to the job. So yeah, when I was 19, then I had 3 jobs and I worked as a bartender as well. Yeah. I was a bartender and so I worked at JB Hi-Fi and I also did the car industry then. And then I became a PT. So I stopped working in the car industry and JB Hi-Fi, and I just was a PT and a bartender, which was sometimes awful because I'd finish at like 4 a.m. and then I'd start working at 6 a.m. But I was like always on the grind, always on the hustle. Like I just really wanted to like make something of myself. And my dad really didn't want me to be a PT. And I was in uni doing a double degree of business, finance and business management as well as doing all that. But I didn't, so I was doing that and I ended up finishing 2 of the 3 years of the degree and didn't finish it. But when I was doing the PT, I learned so much about people again. Like you become like their therapist. And I think a lot of what I've done to become what I am now is like do jobs where it's very interpersonal relationships with people, learning how people behave, learning what they do, learning how they deal with situations. Like after I became a makeup artist after being a PT. So I was a PT, then I did aftermarket, and then I became a makeup artist. I quit my job because I was just like, I loved the money from the car industry, but it was just a very toxic environment. And I actually had a situation where a guy was stalking me at the dealership. So I actually changed dealerships because I got offered more money and I thought it would be more money, but I didn't realize the dealership would be a lot more of a toxic place. And the base money was better, but the commission was way worse because the clientele were completely different. I don't want to say what areas they were, but went from like a richer area to like a like a bit more dangerous area, I would say.
Like middle class.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, you know, for example, one guy like came in my office, like broke like a number plate in half. I was like, I don't want to talk to you, and I was like, okay, like this is the area I'm in now, like this is great. So I ended up not making as much money, and then at the time I was with my ex fiance, and he didn't like me being in that male orientated business, and obviously like I think that's the thing a lot of women struggle with, like, you know, having a supportive partner or someone that's afraid or like insecure about you being around other men and things like that.
And we're going to touch on that later.
Yeah,
as well,
we can go back to that. But so then this guy has just started like following me home that I worked with, and then he like grabbed my ass, like hit my ass, and then I went to the owner and I was like, hey, like this is not okay. I've asked him to leave me alone. He has followed me home, blah blah blah. He goes, well, you know what the industry's like. You know what's like male industry like. You know what like it is. Like,
so
you should,
how did
you should
that
just
make
accept.
you feel?
Well, and there was no real like HR department there either. I felt mad, like I was angry, and I'm not an angry person. Like I don't get. It takes a lot for me to get angry, and I was like, I'm gonna quit. And he was like, no, like don't quit. Like you can't quit. Like over that. I'm like, are you joking? Like it's so disrespectful. Like, and then the other guy would be like, oh, but you joke with the other guy, like another guy I was friends with that I would joke with. And it's like, yeah, I can joke with that guy because I feel comfortable joking with him. He doesn't grab my ass. How dare you think it's like okay for that to happen? And then for the owner to then say to me, well, it's a male orientated business. Like, you know what the guys are like, you know, like the industry you're in. And because there's not many females in that industry, it's a very male dominated industry. And like I said, the females that are there, they're either like seen as like, you know, pieces of meat a lot of the time, or they're seen as
dumb.
Or they're seen as men, like they're seen full masculine. So my last dealership I worked in, I was a delivery coordinator. The one I just visited today, actually, they were the best dealership. Like they were really good, and I had like the best experience there. But everyone knows about that dealership because they'd be like, this is so rare that you have a good place, which is crazy to think. So I worked at the.
But with that as well, like these guys, he doesn't understand or know how stalking can affect a girl. They think that it's just like, you know, oh, they're following you or they're touching you or like you're trying to or whatever it is, or just trying to talk to you, but it can result in death. You know what I mean?
I've had lots of stalkers. Like I've had stalkers like all my life.
Quite serious.
My mum, so this is so crazy, but like I don't know if you guys believe in like psychics and stuff. We believe in
everything.
Okay. Tell me your ghost stories. No.
Oh, here we go.
No, okay, so like there's this, so psychics, right? So at the end of last year, I had my friend Haley go to me, hey, there's this psychic and she really wants to read you, like for Instagram as a collab. And I was like, nope, no way. Because I'll tell you why. I have always had such an open energy. Like I believe energy is everything. I'm very into like, I watched The Secret when I was in like high school, and I'm like, okay, you can manifest whatever you want. Like you can have whatever you believe in. Like I always am very like, oh my God, I really need to get my teeth like cleaned. And then next minute, the place I work with will be like, hey Jazz, you're due to get like your teeth cleaned. Do you want to come in? Like I don't have to follow anything. It'll just come to me. I really believe in that, like manifestation and attracting everything. So anyway, so I was like, no way. And then because when my mum was pregnant, they were like, you're gonna have a daughter and she's gonna have many stalkers, but she's gonna know how to handle them. It's gonna be okay. And then when she didn't tell me this until I was like 16, and there was a guy coming into JB Hi-Fi leaving like letters, like long letters, and writing them saying, I watch you at the counter, like blah blah blah, and just leaving them there. And then my boss had to like, he was trying to find out who he is. Then he was like, I'm going to have to get the police involved. And the police were just like, we can't do anything. He's not touched her. Like, we're not going to do anything. And that's happened numerous times with me. Police won't do anything ever. Like, no offense to police.
No.
But like, unless they actually physically stab you and they catch you stabbing you, they're not going to do anything.
Unless you're dead.
Yeah.
Or even then, they're probably not going to do anything even if you're stabbed. So
and isn't that that's the sad thing about police sometimes. Like, they wait until something fatal happens before they
till it's
get
too
into
late.
action.
It's too late. I had a guy stalk me once, and he was sitting outside my house. He broke into my apartment, everything, and they were just like, well, he's not like here, like hitting you, like we can't see you doing it, so let him doing it, so like we just can't do anything. And they literally said that. Like,
see, I can't fathom that either.
Yeah,
you know, and it's just like, how can they not see that? You know what I mean? And it's
someone's scared.
And my friend Celeste Mano, if you know and saw the news, she got stalked by this guy because she said to him, because he got fired from the job and she was a manager.
I saw that.
Yeah. And all she was fucking friendly, you know what I mean? And she went to the police a few times with the AVO. Now I'm Italian, I would have killed the person, but don't worry about that, right? But the thing is, like, there's things that you can't do right? And I understand that. But being a older brother, like, you know, I would have gone nuts. But, you know, and they thought that this guy had backed off afterwards. And then he goes and fucking kills it.
That's the crazy thing. If you take the law into your own hands and try and do something, then you'll be
Then you're the
screwed.
bad guy.
Yeah, you're
the
screwed
problem.
then.
But
So,
I'm
like, you
saving a
can't do
fucking
anything.
life, aren't I?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's
You
crazy.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the wild thing about society. That's everything that's not normal. Like they make it normal, and it's like, dude, someone needs help.
Yeah.
Give them the help they need. It's kind of like same thing with mental health. Someone will scream out for help, and they'll be like, "Nah, you're okay, you're okay." Then as soon as he died, oh, we could have helped.
Yeah, and
Like,
then
what do you mean you could have helped?
and then they promote the mental health. They promote that we're here.
Yeah,
They promote that we're there.
And it's like,
for
but
you,
when they were,
But for how long?
Yeah,
as
when they
well?
were
And
here
then
calling
forget
you,
about it.
just to
Yeah.
show face.
yeah. But
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
crazy.
when they were calling, saying, "Oh, you know, I'm about to do this. I'm about to do this." They're like, "No, you're just acting out of hand. Just calm down." But they literally try to ask for help, so it's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like people just think they're just being like desperate for
Desperate
attention.
for attention. Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
that's not how it is.
Which they're not.
Which is
You know, so yeah, you faced your stalking.
Yeah, so there was like, it was multiple
And this
cases.
is heaps on your mental health as well, right?
Yeah, I think for me, I became like numb to it. Like I'd almost become numb to like, even from a young age, like, I'm not saying like I'm so good looking or anything like that, but you get attention and you get like people speak to a certain way or like men like speak a certain way and you kind of like just get used to it. You can become numb to it and it's like, it shouldn't have to get numb to it, but you just become,
Which
you
is
know,
sad. You should.
You know,
have
I had like a stalker when even on my 18th birthday, some guy like got my address, bring perfume there, did all this stuff, and my friend's like, "That's romantic." I'm like, babe, that's like these
creepy.
fairy tales are fucking with our heads. Like that's creepy. He's got my address. I told him numerous times I don't want to talk to him. He's gotten my address and left perfume with like a note, and just like that's romantic. I'm like, babe. Like that, and that's how girls are. Like you get love bombed, and you're like, "Oh my god, this is so cute. He really likes me," but the guy doesn't like you. He's just love bombing you. Like, so. But yeah, anyway, so we had these stalkers, and then then I had a lady say to me, like, go past me at work, and she's like a psychic, and she said something to someone, and she goes, I see this like red ring around her. She's like, I saw this, like, she said this whole thing, and then all the stuff she said like came true, and it freaked me out. So I was like, I don't want to see the psychic. Anyway, I see the psychic. I was like, okay, I'll see her. Anyway, obviously.
So you gave in.
So I gave in.
Peer
No, 'cause
pressure.
my friend's like, no, like you need to see her. Her name's Tegan. Anyway, so I do this on like New Year's Day this year. And she goes, this year, she's like, it's going to be crazy for you. She's like, you're going to end up in Dubai mid-year. And no one knew that I was going to Dubai for my birthday. I had booked it. Only my best friend knew. No one knew. She said my birthday is 6th of June. She said mid-year. I was like, what the fuck? Like, so I didn't want to give her anything. I'm like, I'm not giving her anything. I'm just going to keep going with this. And I'm like, interesting. That's an interesting place to say. She's like, no, I see you with like supercars, like a lot of supercars. She's like, in March, April, you're going to go through like a black tar. It's going to be really bad. And you're going to like, you know, all this stuff's going to come up. You're going to get over your ex-fiance. Like all this stuff's going to happen. And then she was like, you're going to quit your job. And I was like, I've got the recording. I was like, no, I'm not. She's like, no, you're going to start your business. You're going to start your own business and it's going to be really successful. She's like, but you're going to quit your job and it's going to be really bad. And I was like, no, I'm not. I was like, I love my job because my job was really good with me. They would let me go to premieres. They would let me do my stuff and they were really supportive. And so I was like, why would I do that when I've got the best of both worlds, you know? And then she's like, yeah, and then you're going to do this and that. And she's like, and then I see snakes. She's like, I see snakes. And I was like, snakes? This is so bad, snakes. She's like, no, but snakes are a good symbol. Snakes means like you're shedding your skin to become like the better version of yourself, which I never thought of it like that. But then I'm going for a walk. Never in my life seen a snake. Saw snakes 3 times this year on my walks. 3. So then mid-year, they changed my job title. And so that was so bad. I got so depressed because like I got put into a different job that I hated, but it forced me to quit my job. And, you know, sometimes really bad things happen to you. And I was like, why is this happening? Like I was crying every day. I was so upset. And and everyone's like, Jazz, you've got so much potential to do what you want to do. Like there's so many jobs you could do like and have your own business with. And I was being my own worst enemy. Like I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't leave the house. I got really depressed, like really, really bad. And then, like it was bad. It was really bad. And I was like, I can't do this. Like I didn't even want to be here. I was like that bad. I was really like down. And then my friend was like, oh, like can you help me with like the social stuff, which I was already helping her with a bit. But then there was an event. She's like, oh, you know so many influencers. You're always at influencer events. Can you start doing influencer management and like get me influencers for events? And I love making like little Canva invites and doing all that sort of stuff. And because I've been invited to so many for like 2 years at that point, I was like, cool, I can do that. Like I've seen so many of them. And I know as an influencer, if I go to a restaurant and they've invited me there, like they don't, sometimes you go there, you don't know the budget, you don't know like what you're supposed to post, you don't know what you get for free, you don't know what tags to use. So I would make these little Canva things and I'd be like, this is the brand, like this is about the brand, this is how much money you get to spend, this is, you know, and then I would do, because coming from as an influencer to go onto the other side, I felt like I would relate to them a lot easier and it'll make it a lot of a smoother process. So then I started doing it and like all the clients were really loving like having me on board. So then I just started like rolling from there. And I've always loved talking. So then we started doing the street interview stuff. And yeah, I just kept doing my Instagram and things like that. So it kind of all happened. And I'm like, if those bad things didn't happen, then it wouldn't have resulted in like a good thing happening. And I think that happens a lot.
And just to add to that, Jazz, you know, you left this job to find something better, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to say like, I'm a successful. This is the kamikaze, right?
Yeah.
I'm a successful I'm a successful photographer, videographer, right? And I'd been doing the job for 4 years. I loved it. Like I loved to go into work. I didn't even feel like it was work, right? And I took probably 1 day off in the whole 4 years because I went to hospital. That was it, right? And the thing is, you have to make the hard decision. What do I do? And it was very, very toxic there, very toxic. But I still loved my job and I still stayed with it, right? To the point where I wasn't getting paid for 6 months, right? People were like, fucking leave, Andy, you know, just leave. You can't put up with that. But I just love my job. But you need the money, obviously, right? And it just got to the point where, what do I do? I also looked at it because I do a lot of reflection. And I'm like, 4 years, I've tried to grow this business, right? It's not my own, but I'm running it like it is, and I'm trying to grow it. Every time I'm trying to grow it, she's just like, nope, or like, you know, that agent is fighting with this agent. I don't care about your 16-year-old like high school drama bullshit. I want to make money. True. I love my job. I want to make money. I don't care if you guys are fighting, right? What, you can't sort it out like adults and shake? You know what I'm trying to say? But anyway, so then I got ridiculed for that, and I was like, okay, well, what do I do? Anyway, funny this sounds, right? She gave me 2 weeks off because she goes, you're not in the right mental state to work. The fuck I am. But she just thought that I wasn't because she needed to control everything, right? I said, okay, cool. You want to give me 2 weeks off? Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I told her that I was sick as well, right? So I was very, very sick. Couldn't get out of bed. She then the next morning said, you still need to go to work. Wait, hang on. I'm on 2 week break. So she fired me. Right? Just the short story. So she fired me. Now, I could have pissed and moaned and cried and whatever. But look, I was done. I mean, I loved my job, but it was just too toxic. And on God, he's got something better. Yeah. And that's where I started the podcast.
That's why
that's why we started the podcast. I met him, and it just...
It was something.
Have you heard that that story where it's like there's like a guy stuck in the ocean and then like he's like, God's gonna save me? Have you heard that?
No, tell me.
So like there's this like story. So there's a guy stuck in the ocean and he's like on like a little paddle thing and he's like, God's gonna save me. God's gonna save me. So like this guy comes up past on this little boat and he's like, hey, like, do you need help? And he's like, no, God's gonna save me. And he's like, okay. And then you know, time goes past and then like this big ship goes and like, oh my God, you need help? Like, we'll send you like a thing. He goes, no, God's gonna save me. God's gonna save me. And then like, you know, someone comes past again and he's like, you know, you like get on the boat, like, let's save you, like, come in here. And he's like, no, God's going to save me. God's going to save me. And then he drowns and he dies and he goes to heaven and he goes to God. Why didn't you save me? He goes, I sent you 3 life rafts. I sent you 3 things. I sent you 3 opportunities. And I think sometimes in life, you know, we're like, you know, we want to get to a certain place, but we don't take the opportunities that are given to us. You know what I mean? And sometimes things happen where you're like, oh, like, but I need to get to there, but you don't realize the opportunities that are like right in front of you. So sometimes like, you know, you might think, you know, something bad's happening, but it's because you're getting redirected into the right direction. You know what I mean?
Well, facts with that, because you know, when we're on the weekend and we have to go, like LU might have an event or like something small. It could be a basketball thing, you know?
Exactly,
And I'm just thinking of it like, oh, it's just a basketball thing.
That was, like Sunday. So I had a run, which is basketball, just playing with the guys and stuff. So I invited him to come along, and he was so locked in about the podcast. He's like, dude, you know, we have a podcast that we gotta do. Why do we need to go? And I'm like, dude, I have basketball. Like, you know, let's go. He's like, no. Like, it's gonna fuck us up, the time and all this. And I'm like, dude, if I were you, just come and you'll see. He ended up coming. he ended up meeting a few of the guys that run
Summer Jam.
Summer Jam.
Yeah, it's
and we got an opportunity from that.
Yeah.
In that moment, he saw it as, it's gonna fuck up the time and all that. But that was another opportunity for us.
And we had a podcast that evening as well.
And we cancelled that.
So I trusted my brother. I trusted him.
So that's the thing. People sometimes just see a downfall and just say, "Oh, I give up. Like I can't do this. Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening?"
Yeah.
Or they just think,
they just think the worst of it. Yeah, they don't understand it's happening for a reason. The reason why things happen is to pretty much flow with your life. So it might happen. It might seem fucked up, but it's fucked up for a reason because something good's gonna come out.
And we've done this many times, Jazz. You would have known at events. You're probably like, "Oh, this is just a fashion event. This is just this," but you've met probably someone huge or someone.
Yeah, there's always like some. So like there could be, it's like the sliding doors thing. So like one thing can change the whole direction of everything.
I fucking love her metaphors.
Yeah,
This is coming out of the
She's
wood.
just sliding everything in.
Where's this coming from?
Hey,
where's your book?
No, it's true that like I always say that. So you just don't know the opportunity that could be given to you from certain things, and that's why when I first started going to things, I'm like, I will try and network with people all the time because I feel like it's such a huge thing, especially with like things I do. Like I meet people, you make relationships with people, and you actually networking is so important. And like you can learn something from every single person. There's something to learn from everyone. I think it's like and that's why sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered going to do something. But for example, like I'll give you an example. Like there was an opening I did for a restaurant. And I did this opening in this restaurant. And because I posted a photo on Instagram of the opening I did with the influencer management, someone from France saw it and he hired me to do his event in Melbourne and in Sydney because he saw that post. Imagine I didn't post it on Instagram.
Yeah, imagine if you said, I had some self-doubt.
I don't look good in the photos. I'm not going to post it. Like, it's not hot enough. Like,
my eyes like this way or something.
Look, I was not that way. Okay, let's clarify.
But that's the thing,
Like, and that happens a lot of the time. Like, for example, like some of my content with Instagram, someone will see it and like a brand will see one thing. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to post this, but if you're not, for me, it's very about consistency. Like in life with everything, you have to be so consistent. And with people with Instagram, I'm like, be consistent. I'm like, post every day, do this, do that. And they're like, oh, I can't be bothered. I had someone be like, I want to do influencer. I'm like, okay, post this. Like I got my friend to give a teeth whitening kit. Oh, but like people like laugh at me. I'm like, okay, well, if you care if people laugh at you, you can't do it. If you care if people are going to put you down, you can't do it. If you care about people's opinions and if they're going to validate you, then you can't do that industry. You can't be influencer. You can't be entrepreneur. You can't be anything because you're going to let those opinions weigh you down.
That's kind of like how. So my girlfriend wanted to start a food page, and I tried to encourage her. She was like, "Oh nah, people are not going to look at it. Oh, we don't even have followers and this and this and that." And I'm like, "No, just anywhere we go to eat, just start recording it and post it." She's like, "Nah, but we're not going to get anywhere. I don't like doing it." She started consistently posting to the point where now we get people reaching out to us. We literally went, was it Tuesday? Tuesday. We had, we ended up going to Melbourne to do like the recording for like a food place. Yeah. And I'm like, see, all you have to do was just be consistent with it. You didn't have to look at it as a bad thing, but you started it. As long as you start and you're consistent, you'll get things off it.
I think one of the things I think about as well is I think, okay, so some people will be like, I'm too old or I'm too this or I'm too that. Okay, let's say, for example, like you think about, I don't know, like I want to do a degree and it's going to take me 3 years. And I'm like, but I'm like, say I'm 40 and I'm not 40, but like if say, for example, I'm 40 and I'm like, oh my God, I wish I would do it, but I'm too old. But then when you're 43, you're like, if I had started 3 years ago, I would be done by now. So like you think about that with other things. You're like, if I start being consistent now and a year from now, it sounds like a long time, but a year goes just like that. So like if you start, you think about like the perspective you'll have from like then.
It's all how you
and
look
I say that to my friends.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like, oh, I'm like, just do it.
Just do it, yeah.
Just do it. And then what happens? You fail. No one successful hasn't failed. Do you know how many times I fail? All the time. And if you don't fail 20 times, then there's no one successful. No one. I know so many successful people. Like I've networked with so many people. I'm very lucky to like have people I've met and like spent time with people. I think time is the most valuable currency. Like money comes and goes, but like time with people I think is really important. I value that a lot. I think, even ask anyone who wishes they had their parents' time when their parents were always working or anything like that. I think time is very important. But when you network with the people that are really making moves and like, living in like crazy countries, traveling all the time, doing all this stuff, you see the different way that they act, and they see failure as a great thing. They love it. They're like
They
yeah,
thrive
fail.
on that.
Yeah, because now I know a different direction I need to go in. Like no one successful has not they fail. You fail, you're like, okay, cool, next avenue. You can't. It's not like you have to just get back up. I think last year for Halloween I had this idea, and I wanted to dress as a phoenix with my mom, like making the costume with my mom. And I was like, I made this whole thing. I was like, you have to like sometimes like die, and the phoenix rises from the ashes. So like, I think it's really important for people to, you know, realize like failing's a good thing. Like it's shit at the time, like we said, but
people don't understand. A lot of good things come out of failing, because you wouldn't get anywhere if you don't fail. So
and it's like, you know, some people just stay down, they stay mediocre, they stay
they
in
don't
their
like
lane,
change. That's what
or
it
they get upset when they do fail. They don't try again. It's just keep going.
Or they never try. Like so many people never try. I actually had my mum call me when I was in Sydney recently, and I was doing the event, this dating app event, and I was, you know, I've always been, she started talking to me about, she goes, you know, I'm jealous of you, because she always would get told like she should start a catering business, she's so good at cooking, she always taught me to do sewing, and she did she's very creative, she could make anything, do anything, cook anything. She taught me how to cook. I love cooking, love doing all that stuff. And then she was like, you know, I never pursued anything because I was always scared. She's like, I just love that you go out and you just attack. And she's like, and you just attack and you don't care if you're going to fall on your face. And I'm like, because I don't. I'm like, what? Then I fall on my face and I get back up. Okay. Like,
and so you don't want to be that person to be like, oh, I should have done it. Or, I was too scared.
They say that's like the lowest frequency.
It is the lowest. I feel like it is.
There's this thing called Abraham Hicks. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like the emotional guidance scale. Yeah. So like the vibrations. And then they say like the worst. So the most important, highest frequency for people is keeping promises to yourself. So like even like with the gym, I'm like, I'll like be so consistent with it, because I'm like, I'll feel like a piece of shit if I don't go. Even if I go for 20 minutes and it's a shit go and it's like awful, it's like at least I kept that promise to myself that I'll go and I'll go do it.
Well, you're right, because keeping those promises to yourself that you're going to do it, that makes me the happiest person. Like you know, it's just when you can smash that and you're like, damn, we did that, like, you know, we did that podcast episode, and look at what it did, or what people have said about it.
Have you ever noticed like the times where you can't be bothered, like you're like, I cannot be fucking in the gym,
that's the best.
And no, but then they're the best time. The best gym sessions are the ones where I'm like, I can't be bothered going, or like the best work I do is like, oh, I can't be bothered going to like this event or something. Then I'm like, then you meet someone or something happens, or you do like great work. Like it's when you can't be bothered. It's like you're almost getting tested. Like, are you gonna follow through? Like you're gonna do it, and then it's like you get like the reward from it because you're like actually push through. Like but my mum was telling me this story. She was like, you know, when you were younger, she's like, you used to go around the street. She's like, you would want money, and so you would like make little bracelets or make something, and you'd go to all the neighbors and you'd be like, okay, buy this from me. You'd like just like go
buy it now.
Yeah, she's like, you've always been like a little salesperson. She's like, you would just like bat your eyelashes and be like, please, like how like buy, and then like she's like, then the next week you would have something else, like you would have like food or like something. She's like, you would always have some different like business. And she's like, and then I remember, oh my god, I was talking to this girl I went to high school with in year 12. So I was like, I want to make money. So I was like, all right, so let's make a party and make everyone pay entry, and we got like a DJ. We got a photographer. We got like flirted with the photographer so he'd do it free. Like got this like
hey, the trade.
Yeah,
I gotta do it as well.
I'm taking notes. Right?
So we got it was crazy. We got the photographer put like a stamp on it. Like I think it said it was something like troubles never look so good or something on all the photos, you know, like the club photos. But we're like in high school, no one's like 18. They're like, the watermark. Yes. And a photographer. And then so what happens is all these people like from across, like all these like, I don't even know, these random start running across the oval, start like attacking the party. And then the cops will rock up, and the cops like rock up to this fucking party, and I'm just like grab my bag of cash. I'm like walking out drunk. I was crying over some boy that I liked. Like I'm like walking out with my bag of cash, and the cops come, and someone's like, "Fuck the police!" Like throw a vodka bottle at the cops. The cops like pepper spray everyone at the party, like pepper spray everyone, and then everyone's falling down. I leave, and then I'm like, "Oh, like that was fucking like telling my dad this is so bad." He's like, but he's like, I'm like, my dad's like, but you made like a few grand, like from like teenagers. And I'm like, he's like, I proud of you.
She got her bag
Yeah,
and
yeah.
did that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just like crying, like, bye, I've got my alcohol, BSCR, yeah. So like, I was like, I've always had that, like my dad's like, you know, he's like, that was, like as a dad, he should have been like, oh my God, the cops came, it was like bad situation and everything, but he was like, nah, hustle, like it's good, you know.
But look, you've been switched on, Jazz, from the get-go. You've been like, I want to do this job, I want to do this. Doesn't matter what it is, JB, it doesn't matter. Bartending, you didn't even ask how much it was paying. You just wanted to get
I think
that.
I think no matter what you do, if you're the best at what you do, it doesn't matter what you do. Even if you like make neon signs, if you're the best at making neon signs, you're going to be so successful.
I
you
made
make
that.
it.
He made that.
Oh, you actually made it.
Kmart.
Plug. No,
Got it. Oh, but I'll take the plug.
You know, I'm not big gullible, okay? I trust people too much.
And Jazz, I wanna ask you, so that wasn't exactly your journey, right?
Yeah.
Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
But has it been better than what you manifested or what you thought you wanted to be? Your journey now, coming out of it?
Yeah, see, like, I wouldn't trade who I am for anything. Like, I'm so proud of, like, the person I am and, like, the people around me. And I, like, have such, like, fulfilling, like, relationships with my friends and, like, my family and my I'm very, very blessed. I feel very grateful. You know, I thought when I was younger, I was going to be like a lawyer, like a Legally Blonde lawyer, like Elle Woods. I thought I was going to be a lawyer. And then I changed and I was like, I'm going to be like a business chick and I'm going to be like really serious. But I think I am a business boss bitch. Like I am. I do that. I have my business.
Oh, you're a boss bitch.
Yeah,
we're feeling it right
but
now.
it's not the way that I thought it would be. Do you know
want
what
to
I
take
mean?
over the podcast?
Yeah, it's not the image I saw it as when I was younger, but that's okay. Like I made my own version of it, and like I'm so happy about that. Like and I feel like there's so much more to go. Like I can see like so much more happening, and like
girls
so
take notes. This is powerful. This is
how to be a boss bitch.
I think one thing as well, me with my like inspirational quotes, but I think one thing is anyone who thinks they know everything like is the dumbest people. Like I feel like anyone that I've been around that's successful always is trying to learn and trying to like never thinks they're successful enough. They always think they're not doing enough. They're always trying to do more. They're always not like, you always feel like you're a failure. Like I always feel like I'm not doing enough. And people be like, you don't even take a day off. You're always doing something all the time.
But you never feel like it's enough.
It's never feel like it's enough. Yeah,
Same.
you're just on the hustle. And I think that's so important. I think
because
it's like,
you think you need to be doing more and it's not enough. It is enough, but you want to do more. You need to do more.
Have you ever met someone that thinks they know everything and you're just like, I have no respect for you? Like, you like, and half the time they don't even know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
You're like,
they're just talking.
They're like, the sky is green. Okay, calm down. Like,
calm. And you know, this is also true, right? When you find out, right, when someone thinks they know everything about something, they really know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Right? And when you try to learn something, right? And you always learn, right? You actually find out that, wow, I didn't actually know anything about this. You know, because there's so much to know.
Yeah, exactly. You're always learning.
Yeah,
you're always learning. Yeah. Till the day you die, you're always going to be learning. And that's one thing you just got to allow, because you'll end up learning so much.
Yeah, and that's the same with this industry. Stay humble.
So,
Who gives a fuck if you've got $1 million, if you've got
if you have a
10,000,
question,
stay humble.
Just ask.
And people are just people. Like, I think that's
it.
the thing. Like, some people get told they're like really intimidating, and like I've had that with dating. Like, I've had guys like just say to me like, "You're just really intimidating." Like I've had guys like, you know, like struggle with like holding a relationship with me because they're like you know, it's hard because I'm quite like, I'm strong. But if I'm dating someone, I want to be in my feminine energy. Like, I don't want to have to like be in that like, you know, mode all the time. But I think it's like, you know, I had one guy like literally last year be like, you're just too intimidating. Like, it's just too much. Like, you're not that I'm intimidating as a person. It's just like that my lifestyle, like the way I am, you know, even like how I work and, you know, how much I want to work. And, you know, if someone can't respect that, I'm just like, you know, like I don't need that in my life. Like I'm totally happy with myself, you know, and I've sacrificed too much to like go backwards. Like I'm not going to do that.
Let someone else dictate what you do.
Like
has it been difficult to balance relationships with your success or like, you know, your ambition?
Yeah, with my ambition, I find it really hard. So like for me, I was in a really long-term relationship. So I was with my ex for 6 years and we're engaged a year. And he was very much the same, like very much on the hustle, on the grind, and we would work really hard and then we'd go on a holiday like every 3 months or something. And, you know, it was really hard. Like I was very much so like, I would meal prep all his meals. I would like try and be like the full wifey and still have my goals and my businesses. And also, so after I was a makeup artist, when we went into COVID, I didn't mention this. My dad was like, do you want to buy into a restaurant with me? So we actually owned a restaurant for 6 months. hardest 6 months of my life. Like it was like really, really hard because my ex was actually still working during COVID. So I was the one managing the businesses, managing the staff. They ended up me being an operations manager for 4 of locations, and we were dealing with like a business partner. And I learned so much in that 6 months. Just, I'd never worked in a food place before. So first of all, I was like, this is like a lot. Like I didn't even know like what the hell I was doing.
Fake it till you make it.
And also just like dealing with staff stealing from you, and I'm very like an emotional person. So I thought these girls were like my friends, and I find them on camera stealing from our registers. Like I learned like, you know, time, it was really, really hard because I would get calls from 6 a.m. till midnight, and my ex-fiance would be like, can you turn your fucking phone off? And I'd be like, well, no, I can't, because I'm the boss. Like, I have to answer this. So I think I learned a lot about, like, you know, being an owner of business. And, you know, I would still make time. I think for me now, it's like, I'll make time for people. Like, if I like someone, I'm going to make time for them. But it's like, you know, it's not always going to be the time that they want or like the way that they want. And it's like, you know, some people don't want me out and about and doing things all the time. It's hard. I understand from a male's perspective, like I have to be speaking to men a lot. I have to be, you know, in those situations and talking to people a lot and messaging people. Like some guys don't even want you to be friends or messaging a guy. Like a lot of guys don't like that. And then also for me, if I go for a more dominant, more successful guy, he probably wants someone that's, you know, not, you know, like, not that I'm not feminine, I'm very feminine as well. I think it's just hard because, you know, time and things like that, they kind of expect you to be available for them. And I'm going to put my business first. But even like, for example, I went to dinner with someone and he's like, order whatever you want. And I was like, I just looked at him. He's like, you want to be in your feminine energy? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you want me to order for you? I'm like, yes. And he's like, it's cool. Perfect. Like, that's great. Like, I'm definitely like, old school where like I still think like a guy should pay on a date. Like I've never had a guy not pay, like God forbid, like if that happens. Like not that I can't pay for myself. It's just I really think that that's like it's a masculine thing.
Yeah.
I think going back to my like random facts, they say like the most attractive thing for women is on a man is like their shoulders. Like they want someone that can protect them. I would want someone that can protect me and be. They say for women, women, it's their waist. It's their waist. I think it's got something to do with like childbearing area for women. Just random facts, my Jazz.
Damn.
Yeah.
We're getting these facts.
Yeah. You're learning a lot today. You're
we
welcome.
are. Slay.
Slay. But yeah, so for me, it's hard because I can't have someone that's weak, and I think for someone with a personality like mine, and I've seen my successful friends, I look at their partners. So a lot of the people that are more outgoing and more successful, their partners are actually quiet and actually work with them or like work for them, or like they're still like manly, and they'll still take care, like protect them and everything like that. But the women, they're more quiet personality, whereas the women are the ones that will like make the decisions, and you know, they're like that. Or so like, for example, for me, it's like if I'm like very loud and like, you know, outspoken, things like that, if someone else is very loud and outspoken, it could end up being like fire. So it's really hard to like deal with that. But I also can't handle people that are like really weak, because I just walk all over them. So it's really hard for me it is hard. I find it a bit difficult.
So let me ask you right now, we know money is not everything.
Yeah.
But it is. So if you going for a guy, and let's just say he doesn't have any money, that's a turn off for you. That's that's straight away a no. Or do you look like we want to know how a girl thinks, right? So, or do you girls look at it like, okay, well, I could build an empire with this person or something, or does it have to be like there's something started, like, you know, you can't be poor for the rest of your life or whatever?
I think for me, I think really important traits of someone is like honesty, loyalty, and like their like you know, integrity and things like that is more important. But in saying that, I think I don't like laziness, and I don't like people that have no ambition. So like you can have someone that's not where they want to be yet, but if they're calling into sick every day to work every day, and they're watching Netflix all day or playing games all day and not actually making like any active you know, pursuit of a future, then how can you have a future with that person when they don't even know what they want to do?
So they can be,
they have to have goals.
Yeah, like, so they could be doing on the grind or whatever they're doing, right? But not have that money there, not yet, or whatever, and you'd still see that as an opportunity.
Exactly.
If you vibe with that person, obviously personality counts.
Yeah, of course. And I think there's different ways of doing things. So like, for example, like when you say like you'd want a guy to pay for the first date, doesn't mean you have to go to Nobu. Like you can go to like an Italian place and make it cute. You know what I mean? I think even any of the girls I know.
What happens there?
Huh?
If he takes you to McDonald's, what happens there?
I mean, I think that's disrespectful.
I think there has to be some
like
clause to it.
if you ask a girl to dress up and then you've taken her somewhere, like that's just, it's like a joke. I think like not that it depends.
Do you want a Big Mac, baby?
That depends on the girl. You know what I mean? Like I'd go to Macca's with someone I'm dating. Like that's not an issue. I would go there in a trackies and a hood, but like I think there's an appropriate time for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
I think but yeah, so with
Well, if
all
you're
the
trying
girls,
to date
all the
somebody,
girls I know would like appreciate a guy writing them a letter and writing them something thoughtful and things like that. Any guy can call you hot and any guy can like pay for dinner. Like, you could go to the same restaurant with 3 guys and one guy that's like his whole pay and one guy it doesn't mean anything. And the guy that it doesn't mean anything to, it literally means nothing to him. So what's it to him? He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I think it's, it's perspective and it's also like, you have to look at someone's values. I think girls appreciate effort. There's so many girls and so many guys, we have so many likes and so many like people, and you go on Instagram or whatever, there's so many options, like dating apps, everything like that. And people are so transactional now. So I'm a very caring person. So I won't just like let someone get that side of me anymore straight away, because I will just get way too hurt. But it's hard.
And does that make it hard? You go to a lot of events, you see a lot of people, but also you also get a lot of options on Instagram or like, hits on socials. Is it hard to find out, well, is this person actually valuable? Like those people, like, okay, are they for me, or like, is it just sexual, or what is it?
Yeah,
is it hard to?
It is. It's really hard. I'll tell you a story. Like this is like something I wouldn't really share, but when I was younger, I had like, my page was like Jazz Burke Fitness, and like people will be like Jazmin Burke, like they talk to me sometimes like I'm not a human, like I'm not a person. So like obviously it's really hard because I dated a guy for 3 months, and then he just like ghosted me. And then I was like distraught. Like he met my family. I was like, what the hell is going on? Anyway, so his mate ended up telling me he just had a list of girls' names, like Instagram names. And he just wanted to cross my name off.
Whoa.
Yeah. Wow. So after that, when I was younger, like you can imagine, like it's not easy to like, you don't know. It's really like there's so many people with trust issues, obviously, like and when I went through my breakup, it was very hard for me. My ex disappeared off the face of the earth. Like he's gone with a girl that was my friend. He was abusive, which I haven't really talked about on my socials before. But the reason I had to break up with him was because my friend called me and was like, I'm scared you're gonna end up dead. Like I'm scared he's just treating you so badly. And people would never know that meeting me because I'm so friendly and so open and blah, blah, blah. And I could have let that destroy me. I could have got so depressed, and I could have, like, there's so many bad things that could have happened because of that. And he just told everyone. I woke up one day and just said I didn't love him anymore, which was not the case at all. I loved him so much, like so much that I almost let it destroy me. I went to marriage counseling with him for like 3 months trying to fix it. It was a really, really, really hard situation. And he was really ambitious, and we had that, like, I would cook, he would clean, like everything was so perfect. So it's really hard for me to find someone that I can connect with on that level, where it's like they have the ambition, you feel when you're with someone, you feel like they're your home, they're like your safety, like, you want to feel
well
safe.
They are your home.
Yeah. So after that, and like the betrayal and like him disappearing and all that sort of stuff happened, it was like my dad actually sat me down and was like, he didn't realize what was happening until my ex was like rocking up, breaking into my house. I was like waking up, he was like above me, like it was really bad. And then my dad ended up telling my dad everything. My dad was like, you're moving in with me, he won't come here. And I didn't realize how bad I was affected until my dad would come near me and I'd like flinch. Like I didn't realize I just thought it was normal. I had like full rose-colored glasses on. I didn't realize the situation was as bad as it was. When you love someone, I think you can be really blind.
Absolutely.
So I'm scared of that happening, obviously. But then my dad sat me down and was like, Jazz, he's like, I don't want you to become one of these hard women. Like so many women are like, I hate men, like fuck men, use them, like blah, blah, blah. And I say it all the time. So many girls I know are like that because they've been hurt and then they're like, fuck them, like, fuck this, and they just become hard. And my dad's like, please, like, I don't want you to become like that. And because of my dad, and I see the way my dad is, and he's so caring and so loving, I'm like, because I have him, I can see that there's good men, genuine. But there is a lot of people out there that aren't good people. Like they'll
it's
just
it's
do
that
anything.
small majority that kind of ruins it
Well, how do you
everyone
guys
else.
feel about that? Like, you surely have mates that do stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's what we're saying. That's how it is. It's just how the norm is now, where there is guys that really don't give a damn about girls.
But do you pick them up on it, or you're just like, oh, he's just being him?
Nah, we
call
yeah, we
them
call
out
it.
on
Yeah, we
You
call
have
them
to.
out
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, it ends up affecting us. Because
You're associated.
because it's like all girls be like, oh damn, he's a guy.
Well, that's
pretty
so
much.
true.
And
Like,
that's-
if I see
yeah.
like a guy's friends with another guy that I know is like that, I'm just like, nah, like
That's
he
it,
must
yeah.
be just being fake.
Yeah.
Like he must just be lying.
But that's just how it is. It's even like how it is being like associated with like crime as well. They'll pick out that bad and then just turn it on everyone else. And it's like that's not how it is. You got to
Yeah.
get to know the person. Because if you take time to get to know the person, you'll figure out that they're really not the same.
But you know what? Like, as you said, these girls have been hurt, hate men, fuck this because they've been hurt, right? Same with us guys. Same with the girls, right? They'd hurt us from a young age, stuff like that, you know, cheat. But you got to look at it like this, right? You look at it like you're in a call center. You take that first call. They're yelling at you, abusing you, fuck, you know, all this stuff. And you're hating them. You're like, fuck this. But you can't take that to the second call. Because that's not, you know, that's it's not fair on them.
I think what it is like you, as a woman, you feel like you can't trust your own judgment.
Yeah.
So it's like you feel like I feel like I can't trust myself. It's not even like I don't like. It might not be about the guy specifically. It might be like I don't trust my judgment. I could have been with someone for so long and not known who they really are. How did I not see that? How did I have rose go?
And that plays on you,
so
doesn't
then
it?
you go crazy. Like I see myself like I go to therapy. I've gone to therapy a lot and like everything like that with like a lot of things that's happened to me. And like they say like I have like I'll get like scared I'll get abandoned, so I'll like abandon someone before they can abandon me, or like I'll just put up a wall and like shut down. And I think a lot of my friends do that too, like they'll just put a wall up. So it's like hard because you have to like push through the wall as well, because these days you just don't know what people are doing. Like it's so scary, like it's so scary, like even with like online and like, you know, social media.
As we go back to the options, everyone thinks they have all these options, so they can just fling you around or like next. But really, do they have options? It's all like online shit. You know what I mean? And it's fake.
It's like
There's so much fake stuff.
yeah.
Transactional. That's what it is. You know, what can I get out of you? And then the grass is always greener on the other side. But how long for? You know what I mean? They just keep going until what? Until you drop. Yeah, you know, so you don't get married.
Yeah,
you know,
I think that's why like they say like marriages rates have gone down so much, like dramatically, like everything like that's gone down like a lot. A lot of people think cheating's normal now, like it's very common, like everything's so common, and they just, I think, you know, if you like the old school mentality is just not common anymore. Like there's so many, you know, people that just think that's like normal. Like it's just like even like with like the way the younger generation is, it's just scary. Like you look at it, like
and that's what social media has turned this whole thing into. It's like normal now. You can, you know, fuck someone over and that's fine, and you just move on. But that's not how it should be.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like cheating, it impacts you mentally.
Yeah,
like there's no tomorrow. You know what I mean? As you said, new relationships, it can affect you with that, traumatize you, being hurt, and you know your relationships that you were going through, right? They affected you in different ways. But did they ever stop you from achieving your goal, or were you like, fuck this, I'm gonna keep?
I
go
going. Further into work. Yeah. So like you won't find me like if I was sitting in bed longer than a day, it wouldn't be normal. And I think as well, like I don't like, for example, when I went through my breakup with my ex, I didn't take one day off work. Like
so I didn't use it as fuel
I remember just being like, give me more work, like give me more work to do. I always think like I'm not a vengeful person. I've never been someone that tries to get back at people. I think success is the best revenge always. I think if you make yourself hotter and better, and more successful, like, you know, have you ever looked at someone that's just gone downhill and you're like, oh, like what's happened to them? But like you look at someone and you might have let them go or something and you fucked it up, and then you're like, oh, they're doing so well, and you're like, fuck, like I've like fucked up. It's like if you make yourself the best version of you. And I think as well, like for me, if I want to attract someone here, I kind of need to be here too. So like I'm not even where I want to be yet. So maybe like I'm not meeting the person because I'm not where I need to be yet. Do you know what I mean? So I think if you make yourself the best version, how many people like become a better person and they meet someone that's like better for them? You know what I mean? And I think it's, you know, sometimes, you know what I was talking to my friend about, I think this sounds so fucked up, but like sometimes you talk to someone, it's like self-harm. Like you know, like if I start talking to a guy and I know he's a player, like I know what he is. Like I know this guy is going to hurt me. I'm like self-harming. Like if I talk to him, like if my friends start talking to a guy, I'm like, you're self-harming. You're talking to this guy. You know what he is. You know the conversations he's giving you. You know the way he's talking to you. You know he's going to fuck you over. But some unhealed part of you is attracted to that because you want to hurt yourself because you're upset or depressed. Like it's self-harm. Yeah. It's like, imagine saying to a guy, like, you're just the self-harm guy. Like I just call you when I'm upset about myself.
Yeah.
I'm just self-harming right now.
Like come make out
So
with me.
don't
I'm sure
mind.
they'll be happy to. But like it's like
I'm just a girl.
people are like, I'll be the self-harm guy and make out with you. That's fine. No, it's crazy. Yeah, but like I think that's such a thing though. Like with girls, like not all girls are that dumb. Like you know what you're getting yourself into sometimes. It's like fun to play with fire until like you get burnt. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I see so many of my successful friends get cheated on, you think they're in like a really good relationship. Like even with me, like everyone thought my relationship was like the most amazing thing. I've dated guys that have like started like, like I said, like the guy even said like you're so intimidating with your job and things like that. You look at any really successful, beautiful woman that've been cheated on, like always have. And it's like sometimes men will be like, oh, like she's too good for me. So, and they never cheat with someone hotter. It's always it's like someone like, you're like, what? Like brother? Like what is that? Like what is that? Like it's never someone hotter or more successful or more amazing. It's someone that's less to make them feel like they're more because they've been with someone that they think is better than them. So like sometimes it's almost bad when a guy puts you on a pedestal because you're like, then they're going to be like somewhat insecure. So like it's really hard to find someone that's like secure within themselves as well. So I was always secure within myself with like my relationship. So I'm not someone that would check someone's phone or do anything. I'd be like, go from me to what? Like I don't care. But like,
Yeah,
go from me to
what? Hey, I like that mentality.
Like I'm like, okay. And if they fuck it up, then I will know. Like I literally remember saying to someone, like they were like really upset and they're like, oh, I've gone out, like tried to meet girls and they're not like you, like they don't cook and they don't do this and that. Like, well, I'm like, yeah, and the worst thing, and they're like, well, I'm like, and I'm like, I don't have to do anything to you. The worst thing for you is you're not going to have my energy or time, or even with friendships.
Yeah.
If I cut someone off, I'm like, if I value myself and my time and my energy enough, like the worst thing I can do to someone is cut myself off from them. Because then they're not, anyone around you, if you're a good person and you've got high energy, they become better people around you. And I always want all my friends, I'll plug my friends. I'll try, if I see opportunities for my friends, I'll push it. Even for people I've just met, if I'm like, oh my God, like even there was a DJ in Sydney and he was like, I really want to get gigs. I was like, you're DJing at our dating app. And I was like, and then I tried to get him gigs in Melbourne. Like, I was like, I don't even know this guy. I was like, if I can see someone hustling and they're trying.
Yeah,
like,
push
you
it.
gotta push them on,
and that's what I mean. So I know my energy is good and I know I'll help everyone around me. And if you can lift everyone else up, I think it's really, if you cut your energy off from them, that's way worse than me trying to do anything to them. I'm not going to do something bad to someone, try and get them back and give them my energy. No.
Success is the best
revenge. Yeah.
Revenge.
Like she
It
said,
is.
Yeah.
100%.
That's it.
It's not revenge. It's vengeance.
Vengeance.
You know what you did. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, I'm the
Karma
guy.
gets them. I swear to God, like people have said
I love
that to me
karma.
before.
Yeah,
like,
what goes around
I don't
comes
have to
around.
do anything.
Well,
I'll
yeah.
just let karma take care of it. It
Yeah,
always
that's
does.
it.
It always does.
It
Something
always
happens.
It always does. It might not be a week. It might not be a year. It might be
What?
30 years.
Years, yeah.
I
Never
can
happens,
get
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You
Actually
won't
gonna bite
go
you.
get got, yeah?
Yeah, go
Your
ahead.
time is coming.
That's it. And Jazz going to whoop your ass later
Yeah,
on,
man.
you know?
Yeah.
But no, you are right. Like I've had relationships before, doing the acting in this industry, doing this grinding. And it's like at the start, the girls are really attracted to that, or like they're like, yes, we want someone who's hustling, who does this. But then when they jump into it, they're like I'm busy as fuck, but I'll make time for you. Yeah,
That's
I'll
so
make
true.
Yeah.
I think people make time for people they
Oh,
want to make.
absolutely.
No matter what, like I don't care how busy you are. Like I've said that to someone. Like no one's time is more valuable. Like if
Have
you've
you ever
got your phone on you, just text something. You know?
Have you ever spoken to somebody who owns a business or like whatever, and you can text them more than someone who does fuck all, lays in bed and does nothing?
That's it, yeah.
That's right. It's all about priorities, isn't it? And so in the relationship, right, then they'll be like, oh, but you never spend time with me, or, you're always at work and, stuff. That might be a downfall, but do you complain when I buy you this? You know what I mean? Do you complain when we're out and we're having a great time? We meet so many great people. Like, I don't know why these girls can't see that picture.
But I think it's the same as like, for example, a guy will love a girl that has like nice Instagram photos, but then they will like want her to delete them all and not like have anything as soon as like they're actually in a relationship. It's like at the beginning, that's what he likes about her, but like then he's not going to like it after they're together because he's like, well, why do you need all the attention from guys? It's like, well, why did you
yeah.
you know what I mean? So like it's like, you know, it's like and if for time and money, like I said, time is the most valuable like
It is.
currency.
It absolutely is.
And I think you can just like, you know, sometimes I'm so busy and people have messaged me, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get back to you. Like even just saying that, like they're just to like calm people's serotonin. Like, you know, like if you're seeing someone and you know like they've sent you like a message and they're going to be anxious, just to say, hey, I'm busy right now, I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Like just even saying that, or like even I have voice note like sometimes, because I'll be like, I'm so busy, I'm driving, and I'm like, oh my god, I haven't replied. I'm like, hey, sorry, I'll get back to you tomorrow, or like blah blah blah. Even with friends or with work or whatever, you have to communicate. Like communication is so important. But I think with that, it's like you need to maybe explain to the person, like, you know, I've had the same issue, like, oh, you have the time and this and that. It's like, well, like that's what like it's gonna cost for me to get where I want to get.
Go, yeah.
So like if you want to be with me and you want my time and my like, okay, cool, I can't give it to you right now, but maybe next week I'll like allocate a certain amount of time, or maybe we can go and do an activity, or maybe we can do something.
Of course,
you know?
it's effort, right?
You have to just say, like, I think it's like if the girl's complaining, she wants some sort of reassurance. You have to say to her, hey, look, you're right, I am really busy, but do you know what I'm gonna do to make it like a solution to the problem is I'm gonna, you know, maybe you book like you know, some activity to do in like a week. It might not be at that time because you're too busy that week, but like the week after, at least she knows you're making an effort and she can see that you actually care. Because people just want to know that someone cares about them. They just want to know that you care. And then most of the time people just fight instead. They're like, well, you're this, and then they're like, well, you're doing this, and it's like, well, then there's no conflict resolution. You have to actually like, I hate when I actually will say to someone, if someone starts like arguing, I'm like, we're going in circles here, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm like, I hate when people just
cut that off.
Like,
You're just gonna be straight out.
Literally just
I
cut
had
it
a
off.
guy, like, he started sending me all these essays, and I just said, I'm not wasting my time reading this. Like, I've already said what I need to say. Like, sometimes you just go crazy, like going in circles, going back and forth, fighting over the same thing.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna go back and forth, it's never gonna end.
It's never gonna end.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I
I don't
mean?
have time for this. Like,
And
just
your mental health is more important.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? And your social battery,
yeah,
which is
you conserve your energy.
oh yeah,
100%.
absolutely, you have to. You got to put. He's trying to cut me.
No, I'm not.
Are you trying to cut me off?
But that's how it is though. Like,
Yeah, it is. No.
if you're sick of just going back and forth, you just cut her off and that's it, and just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. You know, and going back to the acting, right? I was in one relationship where this girl, she was Lebanese. She got, they found out about us in a month, and they sent her to Lebanon to get married off. I went to the house by myself, and all my mates are like, "You can't go there. He's gonna kill you." I go, "I don't give a fuck. This is how much I like this girl. I know it's crazy, but you know." And I went there, and he's just like, "She's not here. She's gone."
Damn.
Like straight away. And it was just like, what the fuck? Anyway, so that's just a little bit of backstory. She came back, and we had to speak very secretly. Like, it was like I'd message her in the morning, good morning, whatever, and then she'd put it in the air conditioning duct. This is where she hid it. And I didn't hear from her until nighttime. And the message I got in the morning was like, "I love you." And then when we got back to it, because her family was brainwashing her that I was a bad person, right, which I wasn't, we'd be fighting for the like 2-3 hours, and then I finally, you know, got her back on my side, and the whole thing started again. This happened for 2 years, right? And then he finally ran away. All right. Now I did all this, right? All this, yeah. And I would just see her probably for 15 minutes on her break, one every 2 weeks or whatever, right? Because the family, you know, Northlands,
Yeah.
right? They would patrol Northland to make sure I wasn't there. All right. We met up in the underground car park. All right. Yeah. It was like full top secret
Forbidden
shit.
love.
Oh yeah. This is.
They should make a Disney movie out of this.
Oh shit. Not Aladdin, eh, kook. And you've done all this for someone, right? And you finally, you know, get to be with them, blah, 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 blah. And then, so at the start, right, she was like, "I love your films. I love your content. You know, you're a great actor. I love your this." You know what she was saying afterwards? "Why the fuck are you doing this? You look like shit. You got to stop doing this now." But you loved it at the start. So what changed?
What changed? Yeah.
Short story short. Yeah, long story short. See, this is the kamikaze, guys. Get on this. She cheated on me.
Yeah.
So, but I couldn't see. Not that I couldn't see she was cheating on me. I needed proof.
Yeah.
And as you said, love is blind, right? But also, I did all this for this girl, and I didn't want to lose that. But you had to, you know.
Yeah, I think you need to. So the one thing I learned this year was like you leave people where they're at.
Yeah.
So like I would say that to my friends. So like you leave people where they're at. So everyone sees people for maybe what they could be or what you want them to be, or like a lot of the time I will see someone and I'll see their potential and I'll be like, oh my God, this person is going to be so good at this and do this and do this. But they're not that person yet. And and like sometimes when they keep doing things to you, you have to just leave them where they're at. Like they're at this stage. That's okay. That's them. That's not for me. Like leave them where they're at. Like you have to leave person where they're at. And then I think as well, like I don't condone cheating at all. I think like if you're going to cheat, just break up. Like it's going to hurt someone less. Like just break up. Like break up. Like
it's a coward thing.
Yeah,
it really
like,
is. You can't face it.
If you're gonna cheat, why are you with them? You might as well just end it. There's no point of that.
Yeah, but people are cowards. People can't face that. People don't like interaction, confrontation. You know, but there's no reason to cheat.
There's no reason.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think what it is, it's not even like the act of the cheating. It's like the fact that you know that how that would make someone feel. Like if you did that if you love someone and you know how that's going to make them feel when they find out that feeling they're going to feel, then you don't care. Then like that's like a whole different thing, right? So I think that's what it is. It's like the feeling of how they're going to feel when they find out of the betrayal and how they're going to not be able to trust people again, and they're going to have like this ongoing like
gonna be
problem.
And that can and that can affect you know everything, especially you know their goals. You know that could fuck that up. Like their work life, they could probably want to leave their job. Like you know. Just hide in a shell, or
because people react to things very differently. They do as well. So,
and that's where we're trying to like get into people's mindset, like you know, to help them be like, no, just look at it. It's better. Right. It's better than what you were in.
I think I always there's always coping mechanisms. So I'm the friend that people call. Like I'm always like, if someone's broken down, they're gonna call me. And if they're gonna have a breakdown, like a lot of my boss bitch friends, like I'll be the one they'll call because they can't talk to their stuff. They can't talk to their friends because they've got a persona to like uplift, right? And I'm the friend that a lot of people. I'm like, if you want to just call me and cry on the phone and hyperventilate, I'm like, call me. If you want to, because I know what it feels like to feel like you have no one. So I always say to my friends, like if I feel like they're off, I just call them. I'm like, just talk to me, like just vent, vent.
I'll listen.
Just vent. Like sometimes I can go in circles and talk about the same thing 20 times. I'm like, that's okay. Just vent. Like just let it out.
People just want someone to listen. Know that
because if you build it up and then you notice like, and I think it's really important for guys to do that for each other too. But like I think if you just build it all up, you end up making like this whole chest like anxiety. It all fills up and then you feel so shit. So a few things that we do that I say to people. Not that I'm a counselor or anything, but that I find works is one thing me and my best friend always do, me and Nicole, we'll always say, if we start hearing ourselves go down that the rabbit hole, we'll be like, name 3 things you're grateful for. Straight away. Like we have to stop the whole conversation. Doesn't matter if we're bawling our eyes out, doesn't matter. Name 3 things. Normally our first thing is each other. We'll say that.
Aww.
And then she'll normally say her dogs. And then you just like name 3 things like, oh, today yesterday we made my hot water didn't work. Today I'm thankful my hot water's working. Like, you know, I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful, you know, whatever it is. Like,
I'm grateful for Aliyu in this podcast.
Yeah, what are you thankful for? That's cute.
Yeah, he knows it. We show love every day. Like, honestly.
Yeah, so
you have to.
I think if you name 3 things you're grateful for, suddenly your problems don't seem as bad. First of all, and perspective. And then I always say, write it down. So like, for example, if you're upset about a person, you write the pros and the cons of the person on the sheet of paper. Most of the time, if the person's being a shit person, the cons are going to be way down. And then you look at the piece of paper and you're like, shit, I'm really doing this to myself. Okay.
That works. That fucking
that's
works.
Smart,
You know what I mean? Name the good things and then you name the bad things, and it's like, well, why the fuck am I still here?
Yeah, and it's even with the job. It's with like anything. You look at the situation. I think it's putting things into perspective. Like really, like because I've had times where I've like spiraled or gone down the rabbit hole. So I'm like, okay, you need to have these like not tricks, but you need to have these like coping mechanisms where you're like, okay, I need to pull myself back up because you can't go down that like Abraham Hicks garden cell. You don't want to be like jealous. You don't want to be angry. You don't want to be like, you're like, hang on, why am I feeling like this? Let's put this into perspective. Let's actually break it down. Is it as bad as I think it is? Because most of the time, it's not. And if someone's going to cheat on you and they're going to do that and they're going to mess it up, okay, so you can make the decision whether or not you want to stay with them or not. Like that's a decision a lot of people do decide to do, but you have to be okay with that person doing that to you again. Yeah. And if you're okay with that and you want to live with that, that's your choice, you know? And some people want to do those things. Like you say like, oh, this guy's doing this. Okay, you know he's going to do it again. You know you're going to put yourself in this position, or, you know, this job is doing this and this and this to me. I'm so upset about it. Okay, quit the job.
Do something
about it now. Yeah.
You obviously know.
If you're not going to do anything and you're just going to go to the job, you know it's just going to happen again. If you're okay with that and you want to live with that, then cool, do it. Like no worries. But you have to put yourself into perspective. And then the other thing is, I always just tell people to make sure they're hydrated and eaten and go to the gym. Like, just go do a workout, get endorphins, hydrate, like hydrolyte water, and like eat something. Because sometimes like people don't eat and like things like that.
That's
and then
what,
I say that
yeah,
as well.
food
That's
is
like the
very
other.
important.
That's like a coping mechanism. Well, oh no, but you know what? Even like, go eat your favorite food. If I'm depressed and I'm gonna go eat like steak and seafood, I'm gonna be like, I'm eating oysters. I'm happy right now with my margarita.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So
Well, you're exactly right, Jazz. Like, your support crew or your circle is fucking matters,
Yeah.
right? Because if you, okay, we're going to put that cheating into perspective, right? If you have shit people around you, you went to someone, oh, they cheated on me. They're going to say, oh, you'll find better, come to the club tonight, blah, 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 blah. But if they're talking to you, someone who's a boss, who works this, that, you wouldn't say that. You'd be like, no, fuck him. Go get yourself, a pedicure, like, fucking doll yourself up. Well, you make yourself look good, but also work fucking hard.
Yeah.
Work hard at this, because then when you can buy that LV bag or like, go on that holiday and he sees you in Bora Bora or the Maldives, right?
Yeah.
Flicking your hair in the
But
water.
Exactly, yeah.
I
Exactly.
think by the time you get to that point, though, you don't care about them.
No, you don't
anymore.
give a fuck.
You don't care about them anymore. You're like, you can't afford to be the places I'm at, brother. I was like,
That's it. And
That's right. And you know how sweet that's going to
do
feel,
you know
though?
what? I think when you have, so like it goes back to having a purpose. So like if you find something, you're like, okay, I'm going to put all my energy into this. I'm going to make myself the best version of this. Like if I get like, I think a lot of the time with women, we get like so many girls just talk about guys too much, and they just go through this rabbit hole. They talk about it and they go in circles and this and that. The guy doesn't care. Like the guys don't talk about that. Like I know for a fact guys don't sit there talking about it. Like, oh my God, do you think because he liked my photo on this date and this date, and then blah, blah, and like the guys probably just clicked it and scrolled past. Like it's not like looked at it.
Yeah,
But
that's
like
it.
girls will like over analyze that, and like even I talked to my best friend about it. She's like, I can't hang around a lot of girls because they just sit there and they analyze what guys are doing, but the guys aren't thinking. They're not thinking about girls the way that like a lot of the time with those like over analyzing little situations, and it's actually really sad. And I'm like, if I sit there, if you go make a business and you put all that energy into the business, then you're gonna like have something you feel a purpose for, and you're gonna feel grateful, and then you're gonna attract so many people. Like so many men will be attracted to your energy because you can hold your own. Like confidence is so sexy. I think confidence and having, and if the girl's there like, oh my God, like I really want him to message me, the guy's gonna look like you're just gonna be there all the time. Like it's not gonna be like, no, I'm not talking about like committed relationship situation, but like it's just like the energy. People can sense like desperation. If you're like, well, fuck you, I'm going to make myself like better, like you said, and you put all that energy into like a business, you feel so like purposeful and you feel so good. And then, then you're in the Maldives flipping your hair and you don't even remember the person. You don't care about them. You're like, I forgot they existed. Like, so, but then, if they pop up, you're like, they'll be burning and watching all your stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then that's when it's like a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And, like Jazz going on that, when women support each other, fucking
It's
big
amazing.
shit happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Incredible things
Yeah.
happen, yeah? And you've dealt with that firsthand.
Yeah, so definitely. So I have a really strong network of women that all own their businesses. So I'm really surround myself with people I aspire to be like, or people that are really like, industry leaders and things like that. I see so much of the same characteristics in the women that, we help each other and we don't bring each other down. So if we see someone with a business, for example, like a social media business, where that girl is not helping other girls and that girl's putting other people down, we don't associate with those people, those sort of girls.
That's the same with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, for example, like
Yeah.
my,
It is like us.
I'll, some people are really competitive and really rude, but if we actually work together and help each other out, you can achieve so much more. Like even with, with my PR, when I started doing it, I started getting some hate from people. Like people were like, she can't just come in here and do this. She was just a makeup artist. Like who's she? And I was getting clients. I wasn't even actively trying to get clients. I just had people approaching me because I would see what I've done and I just put my work out there. And then I had like people that were, been around for ages being like, she's trying to take out clients, she's doing this, she's doing that, talking so much shit. And this one lady, like she's a bit older, I actually reached out, tried to call her, tried to email her, said, hey, can we have a conversation as an adult? And she's like double my age. No call back, ignored me. And I was like, out of respect, like, you should call me back, And the other women that have other social media stuff that I'm associated with, we'll like lift each other up, even if we're doing this exact same job. We're like, sometimes we're too busy, so we can help the other person get the job. Or, you know, we speak so highly of each other. I think it's so sad to see when people are trying to put other people down, especially women. I'm like, as another woman, as an older woman who's been around in the industry for a long time, it really hurt me because I was like, I've always respected her and wanted to be like her, and it just really hurt me that, you know, you would try and do that. So I think it's really important, and I've seen so many women doing so many amazing things. Like, even my friends, like all my friends, basically all of them don't, like, sometimes we'll just be all hanging out on a Tuesday. I'm like, this is so nice, we can all just go for lunch, because we can, and then we'll all be hustling, like, and you can make your own hours, you can do your own things. But even my best friend, like the other day, I was like, do you want to just come over and get your laptop and we'll just work, like, and we can work next to the pool, but we can work and still do that, and we can go, even be in another country.
You
and
don't
do
have
that.
to stress. You don't have to stress. Oh damn, I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's in your own
But,
time.
like, yeah.
You're not working for someone else. You're working for yourself.
But they also get it. Like, you work all these extra hours. Like, sometimes I'll be like, oh my God, like, come to this or something.
But you love what you do.
I love it. And they all love it. And you
that's
see
what
that
we do.
energy.
You know what I
That's
mean?
what we're doing. Yeah.
And I think, you know, but you also have to understand, like, we understand, like, sometimes they can't make it to something because you have to put your work first.
Work
like,
first, yeah,
like
that's it.
sometimes you know, sometimes I'll be like, I was staying up till 3 a.m. and I'm up at 7 a.m. to go to the gym because I want to keep my, like, routine. And they'll like adjust, and they'll be like, okay, yeah, like they understand it. Whereas if you talk to your friend who has 9 to 5 or something, she'll just be like, why are you doing that all the time? Like, you know, so I think it's really important to lift each other up, to help each other with other opportunities. We all actually see, if we're like, I have someone be like, oh, like, I'm working with this place, like they need someone, that we'll plug each other all the time to try and help each other get more work. We all, like, you know, comment on each other's photos. It's so cute, like the little comment things. Like, we got to lift each other up. We'll be like, oh my God, like, let me get the photo for you. Let me do this. Like, let me, you know, like, you know, you support, when you find that, like, women supporting women, it's just so powerful. And I feel like if we actually help each other, we can all go up. There's such a tall poppy syndrome in Australia. Like, everyone wants to, do you know about tall poppy syndrome? So there's that, it's like me with my analogy.
Yeah.
So there's
it.
There's this thing called tall poppy syndrome. So where they say, like, if one poppy, like, grows further, like, higher than the others, the others will try and cut it down. So, like, I think in general, like, all people, when you see someone being successful in Australia, a lot of the time you see people try and tear them down.
Yeah, that's how it
because
is.
they see them
People
doing
don't want to
something
see
different.
you doing good, but they'll, you know, like, with small things, they don't even want to, you know, support or anything. They'll rather someone that's not, like, they don't know, do better, but not someone they know.
Yeah,
it's-
and that's why they say, like, when you have a business and things like that, you'll see strangers support you before your
yeah,
friends.
before
a lot
your
of the time.
friends, yeah.
So, like, it's really I feel really thankful that I've found, like, so many you know, supportive women. I actually want to do in January with me and my best friend, we're talking about doing, like, a networking event just for women, because, like, we have a friend, he used to do these networking events, and he changed it to just men because he said, like, they'd get too distracted with the women and men. And which is fair, whatever, like, that's fine. And people drink and probably, like, then go out and things like that. And he's like, I wanted to make it just men. I want to make it men. And I was like, well, like, my best friend was like, why can't we have one just for women? Like, women supporting women. I was like, we can. Like, there's nothing stopping us. So we want to do that in, like, January, I think. And
No, you are going to do it.
we're doing it.
Yes, that's
Well,
right.
I've
Just
done
do it.
events, like, I did I hosted some makeup classes through Fernwood, so I do, like, because obviously I was a makeup artist, and I was like, I want to do, so obviously, like, my whole brand, like, Fernwood is all female gym, there's no males, it's all female empowerment. I was just in one of their campaigns as well, but I was like to them, I want to do makeup classes, and, you know, just help. What I love is, you'll notice any of the jobs I did, PT, makeup artist, I always make people feel better about themselves. And I think when you help other people, that's, like, a really, like, satisfying thing. Like, money can satisfy you to a certain point, but if you're actually helping other people, it's amazing. And I noticed when I did these makeup classes, like, these girls would be like, oh my God, I did all the tricks you told me. Like, I feel so good about myself. I feel so confident. Like, some girls don't know how to do anything, you know.
How good does it make you feel?
Yeah, and it makes you feel so, like, enriched, and, like, you know, it's just amazing. So I was like, you know, if we can do that sort of thing, but for, you know, there was even, like, a little girl, like, she was so cute. She was, like, all excited. She had, like, a little, like instant camera and everything, and it's like, you know, if you can help, and she's like, I love your Instagram. So I'm like, oh, it's interesting. But, like, I think it's, you know, I think sometimes, and I've had people come up to me out, be like, because I talk on my socials, they think they know me. They're like, oh my God, Jazmin, like, oh, do I know you? They're like, no, I just, like, follow you. Like, it's just, like, I know you because you talk so much. I'm like, that's mad. I love that. You know, helping other people, you know, sometimes they're like, oh, even my friend Margarita, she said, like, she talks and she was being silly and stuff, and someone said to her, you helped me get through COVID because like your silly stories every day.
How does that make you feel?
Yeah, like it makes you feel like really like amazing. I think it's so much better than, you know, buying something or something like that. It's
No,
like
100%.
helping
You can't
someone.
buy it.
Yeah, you can't buy that feeling, like helping somebody feel good about themselves or feel like they've achieved something. Or
No, like
Yeah.
you know, someone commenting and saying, "Hey, we listen to your podcast and G us up at work on the way to work instead of listening to Kiss FM."
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Huge.
Yeah, it's mad.
That's one person, but how good does it make us feel?
But even the one person, like I would say to someone, so someone's like, oh my God, so I made my PR page, and I remember when it first got 100 followers. I'm like, yes, I got 100 followers, and someone laughed. I'm like, why are you laughing? I'm like, imagine you're in a room with 100 people. That's a lot of people in the room. I'm like, I'm so happy I got 100 followers. Like I know my other accounts have thousands of followers, but like it's 100 followers. That's a lot of people that are interested in my business, and I've just started it. And I always say, like, someone's like, oh, I've only got this many followers. I'm like, imagine that many people in a room. I always say that. Oh, I've only got this many people watching my YouTube.
It's a good way to look at it.
Imagine 20,000 people in a room right now. That's a lot of people in the room. So
Even having 10 is like, whoa.
it's like perspective.
Damn.
Yeah. You're like, I don't
But
like
yeah.
public speaking.
No, but as a start, you know, like that's what I mean. Like if you have that small start, just keep going. Because if you had that many people in the room, you wouldn't know how to act.
It's perspective.
No.
You're like,
it's
oh,
perspective.
sheesh. Yeah, so that's cool.
It's like as even with podcasts, like I think Chris Williamson, I don't know if you know him. He said like no one listened to his podcast for like years, and he just kept doing them like every week. Like no one was even listening. He had like no followers for ages. And I think it's like if you're consistent with things, it's
And
like
you
really
believe
important.
in yourself, right?
And you enjoy doing it. If you love doing it, if you have if it enriches your life,
And if you
that's
think you're the
important.
goat, you are.
the goat. Exactly.
That's right.
That's it.
You are a goat,
You are-
Jazz.
Yeah, thank
You are.
No, but they say you have to be like delusionally optimistic. Like
No, you have
you
to.
can't be fully delusional.
Yeah,
you have to
that's
be like, you know, delusionally
To an
optimistic
extent.
people
But
generally.
but a lot of
we don't
people
want to go
see-
full Kanye, but
Oh, now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
hold
a
up. Okay, yeah. Why not a little?
yeah,
Just a little.
Nah,
just a bit.
I love Kanye. He's a Gemini
Okay.
like me.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy.
A Gemini.
Yeah, it's just,
I'm an Aries.
I don't know what that means. I actually don't know anything. I just
No,
know
I don't
mine.
know.
It's a
I
fire,
just know
fire
mine.
sign. That's all I know.
I just know my
Yeah.
one.
I don't know.
What are you?
What do you mean?
Star
Like,
sign.
what are you, star sign?
Leo. I think that's what it is.
You're like, I don't know. Your
No, I
face.
don't look into that.
like,
I think it's a Leo because, that's what everyone says. Anyone in August is a Leo. So,
But see, you're in.
Or a Virgo.
guess so.
He's like, I'm
I
both.
don't-
I might be both.
Yeah, I'm both. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, you know, that collaboration with the women, you know, that's going to be huge. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you're doing it not just for you, but for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
And that's
also
the
like
most
the sort of person, like if I see a man speaking to a woman badly, I will say something. I don't care. I don't care. I've seen too many people get beaten down, and like obviously with my own situation, I can't handle seeing a woman being put down, and I don't like women putting other women down either. I will say someone will say something.
What about a woman putting a man down? Same.
Huh? Yeah, no, I'll say something. I don't like I said, I don't like anyone treating bad people badly.
that's
I don't like that people think anyone's better than anyone.
Yeah, that's it.
But if someone, like the best tip though, if someone says something bad to you, I always say, can you repeat that? Would you like to repeat that? Like if
And 9 times out of 10, they won't.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Especially if you say it like that. Yeah.
yeah,
Like you say
yeah,
like, like with my scary eyes, like, excuse me, what was that?
Oh, no.
They're like, oh.
There's the scariness.
Back up.
Oh, yeah. Some people think they can just say whatever they want to you. Absolutely not. No. You have to like pull people up.
That's it.
No, you have to, definitely.
That's
And
the
what
way.
you're going to be able to achieve with this movement as well is huge.
I think that's what was so
Make
amazing
change.
about the makeup classes, even just seeing the impact that had, like, and having a full room full of women, you know, just talking with each other and like
engaging.
getting. So I got all these brands to sponsor it, so they're like playing with the makeup they got, and you know they were like doing the tips and then getting people saying like, I did the tips you taught me. And it's just really nice. Like it's all women. A lot of the women at Fernwood are covered and things like that. So like they feel that's what I like about Fernwood too. They can take their covering off and they can like, you know, feel like free and like, you know, women in there, they don't have to like, not that you go to a gym and like every time men are ogling you, but you know, you do notice the difference. I wear like skimpy clothes to the gym because I feel comfortable in that and I want to wear that. And it's like the fact that I have to. Like I've had guys be like, oh, you're just trying to get guys' attention. I'm like, I go to a female gym. First of all, let's just clarify. Like maybe on Instagram.
See, that's the volume down. Yeah, she doesn't without even knowing. And you didn't know it, Jazz.
I don't know what I'm talking
You
about.
just did it. Yeah.
She playing dumb with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But continue.
Yeah, so I think it's really important. I think it's really nice. You don't see an all male gym either. Do you know what I mean? So
No,
I think
that'll be chaos, bro.
Yeah, I think
those all guys.
think-
Wow.
yeah.
It'll be dope.
Yeah,
It'll be good,
no,
but it'll be
Yeah,
chaos,
it's
right?
already a
That'd be
male
crazy.
orientated sort
Yeah.
of thing, and it's
That's
already like I
testosterone,
think
yeah.
it can be like I'm not intimidated. I'll go in like the big weight rack and with the big guys like what like move. I don't care. But and that's not why I go to a female gym. I just really like the fact that it's like I love that it's like all female gym, and no, I don't need to go to a gym to get a guy's attention. No, I don't need to do this or do that, you know. And half the time it's like annoying. Oh, you done with that? And it's like, oh, I'm done. They don't even go to use it. They're just like
Wanted
trying
to talk
like
to you.
Yeah.
and like go
Yo,
away.
are you done with that? What's your IG?
Yeah, like go away. My headphones are on. Like, and some
I'm
girls,
listening to my
some girls
Kanye.
might go there and like want to pick up guys. Go for it. Go off. See, it's like that's fine. Like I don't
Hey,
care.
that's Dermot, isn't it?
That's Durham at the zoo.
That's true.
Yes, it is. It's chaos
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
isn't
so
it?
and that's fine. Like that's a social
if you wanna do that,
activity.
like-
They're going to the club, but it's just a different club. Yeah,
To
it's a
lift
gym
weights.
club.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fine, like if that's what you want to do. But I just really like that it's like, you know, all women empowerment, and they actually have a lot of things to support DV, like support domestic violence there. And the thing that people don't realize is a lot of women have had like such traumatic experiences with men that they don't feel comfortable even being around them. And it's really, really sad because, you know, like I said, you know, some of the things that have happened to me in my life, I could have like easily never left my house again, but I think I block things from my memory and things like that. But I think, you know, it's really nice that they can go to a place and feel safe and like go and like they can be themselves and they can do the Zumba class and they can do whatever they want to do and they can feel sexy and safe and all that stuff and not have to worry about men. And not that every man's a predator, but you know, it is like, you know, kind of scary that that's how they feel, and that's genuinely like how they feel. And it's sad that some men have like ruined it for everybody else, but it's like just the way it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. And you know what? You making the difference. You know, you don't know what impact you could have on someone's life. You don't know.
Yeah, like right
Because
now,
you
once you
speaking right-
interact with
yeah.
them, you don't know what they're going to do at home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? You might see it on socials, or they might give you an acknowledgement. But you know, to know that they actually might feel something like, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, you've
Yeah.
changed my
Oh,
life."
yeah.
That makes you
and
feel.
and that's happened so many times. I've had so many people send me like essays and things like that, and I'm like, go to a female gym, like girls, and like some girls that were like, I would never feel comfortable to go to a gym in general. So then it kind of takes about a bit of the intimidating factor that they feel like they can feel safe, like I said, like, you know, and go like, you know, putting that out there and being like, yes, like, you know, be a baddie, like show off your body and like do whatever you want, like don't care what people think. Like I don't care. Like I'm like, you know, some people are like, oh my God, you just do your booty pics all the time. Yeah, and what? Like I'll do it every day, and then I'll see a year from now, I'll be like, oh my God, my booty pic looks better than it did last year. Like, and do you know what? It also holds me accountable. Posting my little gym photo every day. I'm like, if I don't post it, people are thinking I'm not going to the gym. So like, it's like my way of like being accountable as well. But I think that goes back to like, you know, we have to justify everything we do. Like I don't have to I don't post so guys talk to me. I don't need to post for a guy to talk to me. I'll just go up to a guy if I want to talk to a guy.
Yeah.
It's like I post because I like how my photo look, or I like dressing up. For me, I like, women don't dress for men. If women dress for men, they dress naked. They'd walk around naked if they dress for men. Like that's, we don't dress for men. Like I think we don't do a cake face. Like I'll tell you, 90% of guys at least would rather a girl with no makeup. I know every guy would always say to me, you look better without makeup. Like it's just like, girls do these things because they want to feel empowered and they want to feel good about themselves, and as they should. And that's why I love doing makeup, and I love, you know, I love doing anything where people feel good about themselves and like in you know, uplifting each other. Like it's just such a good vibe. Yeah,
It's a vibe.
it's a
That's it.
vibe.
It's a
Fucking vibe. And you know what time it is for now?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
let's
Oh.
get it. Drum
Look at her
roll.
face.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
see
She was like,
that?
shit, I'm not
I'm
ready.
scared.
It's the
60
60-second game. Yeah. You ready?
She don't know. She don't know.
I'm
what
She
she
don't know.
is.
She ain't ready for it. Come
Yeah,
on.
I'm scared.
Nah, you're gonna love
Okay.
this. Trust me. Your energy is right for it. So trust.
Okay.
We'll see how she does. Now, I'll give you an example of what we're gonna do, and then you just gonna roll it out. All right.
And you
So
have
basically,
60
we just-
seconds. So.
All right.
Nah, you'll be good. You'll be good. Just yeah.
All right, you're right. All right, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a word, and you're just going to think of like an inspiring, motivational word for that word.
Okay.
Something uplifting, something
gosh.
positive
Something that'll
energy.
help someone.
Yeah, I'll start it off.
Okay.
All right. Oh, no, that's probably a
I know,
bad example. I'm going to still give it. So if I say LeBron, right, who plays for basketball, you know him. You've heard
Yeah.
of him.
LeBron James.
Yeah, you'd think like greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hard worker.
Hard work.
Okay.
Leader.
Who?
He's a leader.
Yeah, leader.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stuff
Okay.
like that.
Something like
All right.
that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I like this.
I like that.
Okay.
She's not gonna
Yeah.
like it.
yeah.
Okay.
But you have 60 seconds, so he's gonna be quick.
Wait, so I have to do as many as I can?
Yeah,
What's
no.
the- what's the-
So
okay.
he's pretty much gonna say one word.
Oh God,
and
I'm
then you
scared.
say-
I
and then
don't
you
have
pretty
no
much have
filter.
to.
This is awful.
Yeah. So you gotta be
Okay.
quick with it. So he's just gonna keep
Okay.
going. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Is it weird? I'm scared too.
Yeah.
It's like everyone
No.
holds on.
I'm
Hold on to
absolutely
the mic.
loving this.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah,
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, cool. I'll start the timer when I first ask the question, yeah, because I've made a mistake.
Yeah.
I usually start it and then ask the question, so I'll
Yeah.
ask it. I'll start.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Hustle,
Motivation.
strength,
Phoenix.
Nicki Minaj,
Bad bitch.
thunder,
Lightning.
red,
Fire.
setback,
Opportunity.
goat,
I can't remember the name. Leader. I don't know. I don't know the hard that I'm doing this right.
cherries,
Cherries. Oh, cherries. I'm just thinking bikinis. Wasn't even a thing. I'm thinking my bikinis.
That's not
I'm cherry
It's
bikinis.
not.
You're gonna motivate with bikini.
Healthy.
Inspire,
Motivate.
house,
House. Investment.
Well, yeah.
She's done the best one yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was a good one. Bikinis.
Cherry.
No, but I like the strength in the Phoenix one.
Yeah,
that
that
was
was good.
huge.
Yeah,
that was really
good.
good.
Yeah, good
Yes. And the other ones were good too. Nicki Minaj,
Yeah.
bad bitch.
Bad bitch. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, to succeed, you got to be a bad
Yeah.
bitch,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And she, with her bad bitch energy,
Yeah.
has lifted a lot of girls. So
Yeah.
it's good.
Oh, yes,
Yeah, she-
100%.
That's
She is.
like that thing.
That's
it's
why
like,
I gotta
think
give it
it's.
to her.
I don't know if it's Mary Curie. It's like well-behaved women barely make history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it. That is
Oh,
it.
yeah, they do.
Okay.
Okay, we see you.
Okay.
We see
Okay.
you.
Spit.
Now, with succeeding, with smashing your goals, what's one tool that you can give someone, a girl that's struggling with their goals or wanting to achieve,
Uplifting.
that is like one tool that you use that gets you through everything?
Write your goals and actually put steps to get them.
Mm-hmm.
So like even if it's like a goal that's like way up here, you have your 5-year goal, you have your 1-year goal, you have your 1-month goal, and you have your 1-day goal. So like this week I'm going to wake up at this time every day and I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to have this much water. And even if it's just that, or even if it's, like if I, like, if you feel like shit, it's like, if I'm sick, it's like, today I'm going to get out of bed and I'm going to wash my hair. Like that sometimes is a goal.
Mm-hmm.
So just having like attainable goals and having direction. So like write down what you want. Like even I've already written my goals. Like you'll see my phone background is like, or like my vision board. Like instead of having an actual
That
vision
helps.
board,
That's good.
I put pictures and I'm like, okay, so what do I want? I want this relationship. I want this money. I want this. I get pictures on Pinterest that like make me think of it.
Yep.
And I'm really like into like the subconscious mind. So my background on my phone has all these photos. It has like a bank balance on it. It has like places I want to go. It has a car I want. It has a laptop I want. It has everything I want in the background. And then I might not look at it every day, but my subconscious is going to see it every day and like start thinking
But
about
you're going
it.
to say, yeah.
And it also helps you decide what you want. Like if you're just aimlessly walking, you have no direction. So I think writing down your goals and then getting your Pinterest out and finding photos that actually make it look like what you want. I think that's really important because then if you have direction, you have purpose, it like really helps.
Because you can tell yourself to do something, but if you see it every single day, that's, as you said, subconsciously in there.
Yeah.
So when you're not thinking of it, you're actually
thinking
going
of it,
for
yeah,
that.
And
yeah?
be specific with what you want to,
Yeah.
like the body you want, the person you want. Like you don't want to just like, you don't want to just like a photo
Know your
of a
worth.
hot
Yeah.
guy. You want you laughing, like two people laughing together. Like you want someone funny or you want someone loyal. Like you don't want to just have like, you have to be really like, you have to write down specific goals and like be really specific about what you want.
Yeah.
So Jazz, put yourself in yourself. Well, you are, right?
Amazing.
See
Yeah.
that?
Put yourself in
What a
yourself.
poet.
All right. How do I do?
Shakespeare. So what does Jazz do in the morning to get herself pumped up, ready for the week to just smash it?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm really about my like morning routine. So first thing I do is I have my hydrolyte and then my vitamins and my pre-workout. And I normally have music on first thing to like pump me up, but then as soon as I get in the car, podcast straight away. So like something.
Our one, yes.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. Better be.
Something motivational, so that when you're driving and you're half asleep, it's like you're like listening and obtaining information. Like even if you're, like I said, subconscious, like sometimes I phase out when I'm driving.
But you're still listening.
Yeah, like it's still going into your brain, so it's like good things to listen to. I think it's important to like just put yourself together. Like sometimes I'll get up and because my morning is go straight to the gym before my body knows what's happening. So I normally go like straight away.
Yeah, you gotta wake it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, just so. But I'll also kind of, if you put a cute like gym outfit on, sometimes I'll look like a scrub. Like, don't get me wrong, but I think putting effort into yourself like really helps as well. Like if you feel like you're presentable and you look after yourself, it's really important. So yeah.
Awesome. Now I'm going to ask you another question.
Okay.
She's hating
Yeah,
this.
she's like,
But no, we're
Not
loving
listening.
it because these girls are going to, oh my God, they're getting pumped up right now. I reckon they're doing something. They're writing their goals. But if you could just say one thing, like just sum it all up in, a girl struggling to start a business, wanting to start a business, wanting to do something to better themselves in life, what would it be?
Yeah, I would say whatever it is you want, like decide what you want and then just go for it. Because like if you go for it and you fail, you can just try again or it'll lead you to the path that you want to go to. So if you don't start now, like in 2 years time, you'll still be just wanting to start. So you might as well start now and fail a few times. And then by the time it's 2 years, 2 years will pass anyway. So you might as well just go out there and attack. Yeah.
Attack.
And you
Attack.
know
I like that. Attack.
My
Exactly.
dad was like, you just attack everything too fast. Like you just attack life. Like I'm just like, I go at things too hard and fast all the time.
No, but
even,
I like it.
Even like when I with anything, like I just try and do things too quickly. Sometimes it's like I need to slow down. Sometimes as well.
No, but I like
But
it, Jazz.
yeah.
It's be a phoenix and attack.
It's kind of like how
An
you
evil
said.
phoenix, like,
It's kind of like, it's kind
Sometimes
of like
go-
how you said about time. You don't know if you're gonna be here tomorrow. So
yeah.
instead of just waiting for 2 years, why don't you just start it now? Because
But
You
how
never
many
know.
people always say they're going to start something, they just don't do it.
Yeah.
So I think like, and you don't know what you're like. I think there was someone that passed away last year, like suddenly. And I was just like, oh my God, like, I was like, you just don't even know. So you might as well like
Just,
try.
yeah,
Like, why
just
do you
try.
care what people think? Like
Exactly.
they're not going to be there like in 100 years. You're not going to be there when if something happens to you, like, you know what I mean? It's not going to matter at the
it's
end
not
of the
gonna matter.
day.
Yeah, exactly.
Like people are like, oh my God, like, don't you get embarrassed? I'm like, why would I get embarrassed? What's anyone's opinion going to matter to me when like I'm dead? Like I'm going to be not here. So
Exactly. That's like our last podcast that we had. We had one of our guys, Essay. He said, "This is your movie, so make sure." Oh, it was Melly.
No, Melly
said that. Yeah, Melly said that. Yeah, like
sure
at the
it's
end.
worth
At the
watching.
end of
Yeah.
it, it's
And
your
make
movie.
it how
So
you want it.
if you end up
Yeah.
dying today, at least whoever's here would know. Damn, they lived a good life, you know.
yeah,
so
like or they gave
just,
it all they could. You know,
Yeah,
they
that's it.
tried. Like
Yeah.
there was somebody, a family friend. They had a stroke and they're not able to move and stuff. And their family like went into the house and it was like a mess. And they were like, they never traveled. They never had any relationships. They worked like a shit job and they never had any money. And they were always afraid to try anything. And they're now they're like unable to do anything. And it's like that's everybody that doesn't try to do what they want to actually do. You're actually disabling yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're sitting at a desk every day and like like some people love doing a desk, but like for me, like when I was sitting in an office job, I was like caging myself off from like my potential for what I could be. And I was so like, some people are so scared to try to do what they want to do. Whereas if you had just gone out there, and it's scary, it is so scary to take the leap. Like it's terrifying. But I think if you've ever, a lot of people like don't understand like if you've ever been really, really depressed, like really depressed to the point where you're like, I don't want to be here, then if you have been in that place and you've pulled yourself out of it, you have to be like, well, I could have just not been here anyway.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
why wouldn't
Why-
I
yeah.
not just go and try and do everything I can to like make something of myself
And people
and
forget,
help
yeah.
people?
And people forget you doing that 9 to 5. You're bettering someone else's life of what they want. So it's kind of weird how you're busting your ass to make their life
Do you
better
know-
instead of yours. It's
Do you
weird.
know one thing someone said to me? This guy I know, he's not in Australia anymore. He just like lives everywhere overseas. And he said to me, imagine all that work you do at that 9-to-5 job if you put that into your
To
own
own, yeah.
business. And then I was like, shit.
Shit.
I was like, you're right. I should be doing
Yeah.
that for myself. So then I did. I was like, okay, well, and then you have to schedule. You'll be like, okay, from this time to this time. Like sometimes I'll be like, I'm not going to work during the afternoon. I might want to have a nap. I want to do this. But then at nighttime, then you got your second shift.
Yeah.
And I think some people even live like that. So like sometimes I'll be like, okay, in the morning, I'm tired. I train. I do all this stuff. And then I do it all. And then it gets to like 12. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to start my second day now. So like my first day is my training, my looking after myself, my talking to my friends, everything like that. And then from like 12, so till 1, whatever. So 1 o'clock till 6 o'clock. Now this is my second day. I'm starting my second day now. Wow. And then that's my second day. Do you know what I mean?
That's
like
cool.
weird.
That's cool.
It's
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, that's a good way to look.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't sleep anyway,
Yeah.
so
You're just like wired.
yeah,
just
just
a bat.
wired like that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, people, they look at you like, oh, how can you have so much energy all the time? You barely
How can you be
sleep. This and
bothered?
that.
Yeah.
How can you be bothered? I just love life.
Yeah,
Life is
exactly.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And
And it's
also,
yours. So
when you're succeeding, when you smashing those goals that you promised yourself, and you're celebrating those small W's, they add up to big wins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
It's
it.
like small steps every day.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. You have
Yeah, it
to.
adds up.
And it's important to celebrate the small W's because
'Cause
that's
you're
you
being a
winning,
goat. Yeah.
you getting there.
That's you
Yeah,
being
if
you,
you don't
yeah.
celebrate those small W's, the big one's not going to feel
Yeah,
as
exactly.
as good. You know what I mean? And on that note, guys, if we that's all we have time for.
Woohoo.
High
five!
I will, we can keep going.
Let's
Right?
go.
But I just want to say, if you're a girl, if you even a guy, but you know, Jazz has just really pumped up the girls today.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
if you.
Girl power.
Yeah.
It is girl power today. This is what I
Yeah,
feel.
that's it.
All right. If you feel like you're alone to start a business, if you feel alone to, you know, take that leap, do whatever you want to do in life, or you know, smash your goals, you're not alone.
Yeah.
You know, have that support group around you, your group of friends. That's very important. And just remember, attack. As Jazzy Fizzle says. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for real, man.
That's it. And the resilience of a woman can take over the world.
Yeah.
All right.
If there's
And
legit. If there's something you want to start, man, just start it.
just do it.
Because
Just do
legit,
it.
you will be so thankful to yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're all you got.
You can go back to your 9 to 5.
Yeah, 9 to 5.
You can go back to it. It'll still be there.
You still be there, yeah.
Jazz, can you say a line for us?
Yeah.
Well, we usually say it, but I want you to say it.
What do you want to say?
If you think you're the GOAT, you are.
Okay. If you, where am I looking? No.
Hey,
look
actually,
that way?
yeah, look
Yeah,
at that
look
camera
there,
right
look
there.
there.
Look at that camera right there.
No, but you gotta say girls, you know.
Okay.
Talk to the girls.
Yeah,
Talk to
to my girlies out there, if you think you're the GOAT, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
that's
talk,
right,
don't
guys.
talk. Yeah, hey, but as
Slay.
always, hey, we've made it to the end. Just remember, share, comment, you know, get our things out, you know, because this is for you.
Tag your girl bestie.
That's why we do this. We do this for you guys because we know a lot of people go through things. So we want to, you know, empower you guys to grind and go harder. So make sure if you made it this far, drop the GOAT, right? Share with your friends. Go to our Spotify and listen to this. So yeah.
And tag your girlfriends because
Yeah.
Jazzy's gonna.
She said
she'll DM you.
or else she gonna get the guns.
Yeah.
out.
All right, guys. You
Yeah.
keep just hustling out there. and We'll be there soon.
Yes, sir.
See
We
yous.
out. Bye.
Jazzy Fizz.
Yeah, Fizzo.
How was that?